You have to kick it if you want to kick it. No sense of humor, then we ain't with it. We watch all sports, yes, even cricket. We don't want to, but we like Chappie, and watching cricket makes him happy. You question our knowledge, we have a grip. We want to make money, yes, sponsorship. We accept it all from euros to dollars. If you want to pay us, holla, 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 hey. We got balls, we got balls, we got balls. We got balls. Sandrazi, squeal and bleed, cold me sweet pistol, tickly duck, twinkly botcha, down. You have to kick it if you want to kick it. No sense of humor, then we ain't with it. We watch all sports, yes, even cricket. We don't want to, but we like Chappie, and watching cricket makes him happy. You question our knowledge, we have a grip. We want to make money, yes, sponsorship. We accept it.
What's going on, everybody? I am Dmitri, Real Estate Poppy. That is Dave J on the mic.
Hola.
And there's the Godfather, Kendall B. Oh, damn. I got to fix this. Look at you. You're being covered by our little minions. I can fix that, though.
You play to win the game.
Oh, shit. Who fell?
What? Are you in the kitchen? What fell?
Like when Gentry was doing dishes?
I'll be right back.
We're off to a fabulous start.
What a way to start.
Chappie made me this thing, and I wanted to show it.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, they're actually showing the national anthem.
They are. They've been doing that for the last, maybe the last couple games, right?
Yeah, because people are complaining that the NBA's done a terrible job of the pageantry of the finals.
And they had, in the beginning, they just treated it like any other game, and it's not. Growing up with the finals, it's a thing, you know. It's what made it's what made it special, no matter if your team was in it or not. Doing the starting lineups and doing the anthem makes it special. So go ahead and do that.
Well, especially when you have two teams that a majority of the world don't know or care about. You have two small market organizations. This is your platform for the entire league. Why not put forth the pageantry? By the way, TJ McConnell shouldn't be an NBA player, just as I see him.
Whoa! Hot take on top.
Just physically.
I think they didn't want to do it because of Fergie. She messed up the national anthem for everybody.
He absolutely did. Very true.
Hey,
I hear all my snacks.
What about to say what you got in the bag from 7-Eleven? What's that?
I'm financially responsible. I went to Vons because I'm boycotting Albertsons, but Vons and Albertsons.
They're the
It was an
same.
emergency, so I know, but it's a different location. So
No
So I
Smiths.
have-
You couldn't do Smiths.
it was too far. I'd already passed it. So
Okay.
so I have this.
This
I have a lot of
goes
chocolate.
5 miles.
Well, and then I have my grandma's cookie. I'm sure. I have
Okay.
a big piece of chocolate cake in the refrigerator too.
What?
My A1C is gonna look like a credit score by the end of this game. We have Whoppers. And then when I get tired of chocolate, watermelon Mike and Ike's.
In front of the white?
You wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have shown you.
That's right.
Like, you're eating watermelon?
That's
Those are
shocking
Mike's
to
and
me because
Tyrone.
you're black.
What's up, Fat Tony? Good to see you, sir.
Ah,
Tone Loke. We got Kaleo. That's the yeah,
DeCasillas
there's
is here?
DeCasillas.
Casillas is
Here,
here.
no Tamara.
Tia, I love R&B is here.
That's right. Hi, Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel, we were
Okay.
just talking. I wonder
Yeah.
if we're related. I'll have to. If anyone should know, I should know the way I
You
like.
should know. You're able to get that
stalk
kind of
people.
stuff.
I don't just want to stalk people though. I did go after DJ HR today though. I didn't
heard
go
that.
after him, but
Did you really find his age?
yeah,
Wow.
his
Mhm.
birthday. It's
Wow.
easy for some people
Well done.
when you have that digital footprint. And that's the only reason I looked is because you set out the challenge.
Gotcha.
Never set out the challenge because he'll find it.
So
Yeah, Kendall did one day for somebody. I'm not going to say who. And
Yep.
and I
Found him.
found it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure
I was
did.
like, is this him?
I've been thinking about this game 7 a lot today. And it's really simple today. And the truth is that if Oklahoma City is able to get in their half-court defensive set, Indiana doesn't have a chance.
Right.
Indiana has got to get shots in transition. They have to play fast, but they can't do what they did in game 1 in the first quarter in particular, and that's turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
They had 8, 9, 10 turnovers in the first quarter. This game will be decided. Well, won't be decided in the first quarter, but if Indiana can withstand the momentum shift of having a game 7 at home, that's the only chance that they have here. There's no way that Oklahoma City shoots as badly as they did in game 6, even if that was nerves.
Correct.
But
Right.
Damn,
if-
Jeff Van Gundy.
if Indiana can withstand that initial onslaught from Oklahoma City and keep the ball in transition, they have an opportunity to win, which, by the way, if they win, might be the greatest upset in the history of not only the NBA, but in professional American sports, speaking hyperbolically.
Your points are valid, I think, because as mentioned, Oklahoma City, because the three-pointer is such the not even the game changer, it's a reality. It's you have to have it now in today's NBA. Oklahoma City is not going to shoot that poorly again from three-point range unless they just get the shakes or whatever, which would be an amazing thing. And even if they do shoot that poorly, they still have defense. They still are ranked as one of the highest defense, if not the highest defense in the league all season. And they've got the home court. And that would lead, which quite possibly could also be because it is game 7. And we've seen so many of these game 7s before, first time since 2016 in the finals, that it normally comes down to defense. And these games are usually much lower scoring than the other games. So
Yeah.
I feel you're right there. But yeah, Indiana has to muck it up. They got to make this. They can't fall too far behind, because if they fall behind by 8 or 9 in the first quarter, that's okay. But they can't be behind, I don't think, like 15 in the second quarter, and then Oklahoma City comes out and buries them in the third. Even though Indiana's a great comeback team, this is a different kind of situation, I think. And if they come back like they've come back all the way in these other playoff series tonight, that would be an amazing accomplishment. But they can't risk it though. They cannot risk falling behind that much.
They need a role player to have an MVP type game. They need Mathurin. They need TJ McConnell to go 15 and 9. The only way they're going to win this game is if there is a bench player, because role players don't typically play as well as they can on the road. They're typically home players. They need a standout performance from somebody outside of Siakam and Halliburton in order to win today.
I think Miles Turner needs to play some good ball too.
Well, if he would stop shooting 3-pointers, I know that's the part of their game, but he needs to be the big man that he is.
Right. He doesn't need to be out there shooting threes. He needs to be down there rebounding and putting those shots back up. But Turner is key, though, I think.
You got a feel for this game, Dmitri?
I do not, and I will tell you why. My era of the NBA stopped when Kobe and KG retired. So now I'm a casual fan. This is probably the 4th or 5th game I'm going to watch this year. And this will be the only one I've watched from beginning to end. Because it's just it doesn't feel the way it used to. And I know that you hate that because you're like, oh, the players today are more skilled and all they did, blah, 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 blah. In the old days would fight and blah, blah, blah. Which is true. But it was more entertaining to me back then because I don't know. It just seemed like it meant more.
Wait, was that an impression of me?
It was.
No, I agree with you. I just don't like that they carry so much. Like, I don't mind that. My only qualm with the way they play now is the lack of consistency in officiating. By the way, if the officials tonight allow them to get physical, maybe that mitigates SGA's efficiency. I mean, they call him a free throw baiter, whatever. You know, he's pushing off as much as he gets fouled. It'll be really interesting to see how the refs manage this game. I mean, it's a game 7. You got to let them play a little bit, right?
Yeah, you do.
You would think so, but you would think it would be that way throughout the entire playoffs.
No, they're not consistent.
No, they're not.
Just like the players.
Well, we have tipped off.
Yeah.
And there's your boy, Miles Turner, looking like he might want to shoot a 3 again. Please. Dude. I can't with all this. Yeah, I mentioned it before. I mentioned it when we were watching OKC Denver. Like the one thing that keeps me from watching the NBA all season is the proliferation of the 3-pointer. I'm like, don't shoot that. Give me a better shot. Yeah. But I know that's the way it's played in the league. And I think we mentioned on that show, it's going to take another coach or somebody to turn it around to get back where the 3-pointer is still relevant, but not as needed as it is right now. But I don't think we're going back. I really don't think we are.
Everybody, I mean, even Lurch down in San Antonio is shooting threes. So
Lurch.
Well, and the problem is you're now developing a league where you only have one type of player. You need to be 6'6" to 6'10". You got to be. It's basically a league of wings now, where you know being a big doesn't really matter. Being a little guy, there you have very sporadic examples of those, but
the 3,
right? You just have, yeah. As we see a sprinkle of threes, as Siakam hits one.
Now I'm interested. I'm interested at how off I am from you all as far as watching the game, because I would like for us obviously to be more in sync.
Yeah, because you were ahead last time. I think I'm ahead of you guys now.
Okay. So I'm at 10-22 right now in the first,
and I'm at 10-16.
Okay, so you're a little bit ahead.
Okay, I'm at hold on. I'm at 10-10 right now.
So you're a little bit
ahead again. Okay. I was like, I'm on last week.
I'm using the satellite this time.
Oh.
Shout out to DirecTV. Yes, we still have DirecTV. So I'm using that feed.
Oh, if it goes down, you can use the landline to call them. Hey, what's wrong, man?
Hey, we still got one. You know what house this is. It's a phone company house. We still got a landline.
Yeah. You have to have it to get your discount.
We still have the doggone landline.
The other thing that bothers me, and it has for a while, is the load management. Because these guys are way more healthy. They take care of their bodies way more than our generation did. They were out there smoking cigars and playing golf before the game, drinking beer.
Yeah.
Playing 82 games. LeBron's getting cramps. It's just, I don't know.
It presents as they don't care. And if they don't care, then we shouldn't care, right? That's my issue with the All-Star game, is this notion that the All-Star game is your biggest PR event outside of the finals. So it's in your interest as a business entity to put some effort into it, because these $40, $50 million contracts are going away with the way the media's consumed when this next CBA comes up.
Well, and the other thing about the All-Star game is I think it's going to turn a little bit because it's going to be back on. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be back on broadcast.
Good.
On broadcast TV, which some people will say it doesn't really matter because, like you just mentioned, the way things are consumed.
Yeah.
By the way, we're at 6-5 now, OKC. But I think having a platform, even though we don't watch ABC and NBC and CBS like we used to in Fox, I think having that as a thing and having Sunday night basketball be a thing after football season, I think that's going to kind of boost some more information, some more for the league to get that. I think when it comes back,
And they have Michael Jordan popping up sporadically now too.
That's right, which makes sense.
NBC, so.
If TNT can get Gretzky, then NBC should be able to get Jordan. So that's great. That's good for them.
The All-Star games used to be dope.
Yeah.
Like D-Wade broke Kobe's nose in an All-Star game.
I'm sorry. I'm
about to happen.
I'm way ahead of you. You'll see it. You'll see it.
All right.
Tyrese Halliburton from way downtown.
Oh, you're way ahead.
Maybe I should pause it so you guys can catch up. Hold on.
Ooh. I saw it. Nice shot.
I have to pause it so everybody so I can
Indiana couldn't ask for a better start because they could have really been hit with the ambush. It's surprising to me that SGA isn't getting the ball every single possession for OKC. Also, Jalen Williams has proven that he cannot be stopped on any drive, left or right. It seems like they have two plays that they can run ad nauseum, and they haven't run either of them yet.
I'm really, I knew of his game, but I didn't really know it until the playoffs, and he is pretty doggone amazing. They got a nice nucleus there.
Yeah,
in OKC. And the question is, will they be able to hold on to them though?
No, because you got to pay people eventually.
Got to pay them. Got to pay them. That's the thing.
The cool thing about this game to me is it's Indiana versus Oklahoma, the birthplace of the Klan versus the place where the Black Wall Street Massacre occurred.
Happy Juneteenth weekend.
That's right. It is difficult to root for either municipality. Although I have to admit, I'm rooting a little bit for Indiana just because of their ABA legacy. I suppose they seem to have a long-standing fan base, and Seattle got janked of their team.
And that's why I'm rooting for Oklahoma, because the mama name of Seattle, I'm gonna call them Seattle. I almost put on my Ray Allen Milwaukee's Buck jersey because I don't have a Mavericks jersey and I don't have a Seattle jersey, so just degrees of separation to show my loyalty for a day to Oklahoma City. And it's
Tyrese Halliburton. My God,
in the old days, they would have yanked his ass out taking those shots.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Yeah.
Those were bad shots 10 years. Even 10 years ago, those were bad shots.
Still bad shots. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say there's still bad shots. From a percentage wide, they are still bad shots. I mean, your great NBA player can make those shots. You're and even if you're a decent college player, that's still a tough shot to make. My goodness, but that's still that's a low percentage shot.
It's funny you mentioned that, Kendall. The last serious basketball game I played in a few years ago was against a bunch of young dudes. And because of Steph Curry, they were all shooting up 35, 40 footers. And it was the easiest game I ever played from a defensive standpoint because nobody could hit those except for Steph Curry and now elite NBA players. But I wouldn't say he ruined the game, but he changed it in a way that needs to be corrected for the rest of the world.
Correct. Yeah. He very much changed it. And it was exciting to see when he did.
Right.
And, I was thinking about that earlier. Looking back at the last Game 7 in 2016, and those Golden State teams, which were fantastic. That combined with the Kevin Durant trade, which we can talk about, I'm sure, at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But hard to imagine. You had Curry, you had Durant, you had Draymond,
Clay.
and Clay. on the same team.
One
all
of
do-
these things is not like the others.
I mean-
one of those things doesn't belong.
But everybody needed their Draymond
Right.
at some point, you
Right.
know?
You need a Draymond.
And
You gotta
Draymond
have the
skating without
Draymond.
a stick. He just
Draymond is a walking I wish you would. That's what he is.
yeah.
And he's probably a Hall of Famer.
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
think so.
So you got 4 Hall of Famers, on one team.
Yeah,
But
that
his
was an
bust
amazing
is just gonna be a boxing glove, not his head. So
That's right. With him
or punching somebody in the nuts.
That's right.
Fat Tony coming in with some good comments. The SGA and Kevin Durant and DeRozan, they specialize in that mid range, and
That's a lost art.
it is right now.
DeMar DeRozan has never tied his shoes.
I know, and
Is that
cooking
right?
people with
Yeah, in high-
untied shoes.
In high school, he didn't want to put a crease in his sneakers, and he got some like Jordan 4s or something like that. Kaleo would know better in terms of the good Jordans. It was the good Jordans. He didn't want to put a crease in them, so he didn't tie them. Hooped in it, had a great game, and never went back.
Wow.
Who was it that noticed his shoes in an NBA game and was like, he's doing that and his shoes aren't tied?
Yeah.
I guess he gave this dude like 30, 40 points, something like that. And he didn't even tie his shoes.
Give me that work, but tie your shoes, please.
And
That's like
when you
when you
bring it
thought-
up, when you bring it up, you're a hater. That's when you just retire.
Right.
Don't say nothing about it.
Kendall, we just saw a commercial for a new Naked Gun film. I know you love the Airplane films, which are kind of the beginning of the Naked Gun franchise, or at least that tone. Any interest in a new Naked Gun film? With
I'm torn. I'm so torn.
the preview looks decent.
The reason why I'm torn is couple. From what I read, the original makers, is it the Zucker brothers or the Abrams brothers, whichever one, they I guess the concept was kind of taken. Like they didn't want it to be redone. And of course, your guy that does Seth MacFarlane, who does Family Guy and whatnot, he went ahead and took it and did it. So I'm kind of torn because of that. I'd like to see the original guys, their blessing on it. And number two, I don't know. I'm very much torn on going in because I so like the Airplane version, and the Naked Gun films for me were just okay. They weren't super great. They were okay. Right. They had a couple good lines. The Airplane 1, the first Airplane movie does it. That's it for me.
Yeah, one of the greatest comedies of all time.
One of the greatest ever. Airplane 2 was all right. There's some good gags and jokes in it, but hopefully it's a good story and it can go that route. But we'll see. I don't know.
James Petras says Zemeckis.
Was it Zemeckis? I thought it was. Wait, let me look it up. I thought I'll look it up here. Got the computer right here. Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
Getting
the
us
White Mamba.
some action.
That's right.
Back in the game.
So we're seeing this play out a little bit though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when OKC is able to get in their half court defense, Indiana can't get an open, easy shot. Every shot they take is contested and difficult. They can't play in the half court against OKC. It's just it's an unwinnable game. Every single shot is a difficult fall away three in the hand of a defender. It's not a way to win.
And those difficult fall away threes were the ones that they made, at Indiana made when they came back. Was that against the Knicks in the it was in the conference finals, that first game? It's like those are the shots they were making. You're like, okay, but you can't rely on those. Those can't really be your bread and butter. By the way, it was written. Airplane was written by Jim Abrams and the Zucker brothers, David and Jerry Zucker. Those are the ones that kind of were a little bit about Seth MacFarlane taking the franchise and doing it. So I don't know.
Breaking news from Kaleo: the Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero is good.
Oh, delish.
I almost bought one of those, but they were hot. So
I got a 12-pack. I found it kind of cough syrupy.
The Dr. Pepper, is it strawberry cream?
Got that scissor.
Those are delicious.
Those are really good. Alex Caruso is my favorite white player. He's my favorite white guy.
He is
currently.
Name your top 5 Caucasian players in the league right now.
Right now,
White Cation.
Caruso, AR-15, Tyler Hero. Does Jokic count? Do Euros count?
Yeah, it counts.
I don't think Euros
He's
count.
like the whitest of the white.
Yeah, but Euros are in a different category than the American whites, right?
Not the black people.
Well, no.
I mean, because if you do that, then you got a whole other list of players to choose from.
Right. If you're going Euros, and the Americans don't even make the list.
True. Yeah.
Is Mel Brooks behind the new Spaceballs? Is that a Mel Brooks? I know he's 90,000 years old.
Yes, he is.
Oh, good.
Matter of fact, he was in the trailer they just put out. So Mel Brooks is well involved in the new Spaceballs. So
did they have him in a hospital bed and he's just like, and they're moving his hand to
God bless Mel Brooks because he's 99 and still looking very spry.
Yeah.
He was in the trailer at the very end, and you know, you're about to see it.
Oh.
You're about to see it. Something bad just happened.
Something bad.
Ooh.
Tyrese Halliburton. Hold on. You're about to see it.
See
that was
and your NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, ladies and gentlemen.
That was
Right. Wait, is this his Willis Reed moment? This is Willis Reed moment.
I don't know.
Oh, he's crying.
He'll come out on a rascal.
Yeah, this is not good.
All right,
that was a non-contact too.
That was non-contact. Yeah, that was a non-contact.
He just tore his ACL.
Yeah, he just snapped. It just snapped.
Or he snapped.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
Did
was
you see
nasty.
the right
heel?
Yeah,
that might be Achilles.
That was nasty. Oh, that was awful.
All right. Well,
the whole team around him. Well, good night, everybody.
Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Ouch.
You don't like to see that.
You hate to see that.
Who showed up to the NBA Finals in a Tupac Shakur t-shirt? Did you see that in the Indiana huddle?
No, I missed.
We just did the huddle around Tyrese Halliburton.
Let me rewind.
And the dude has a full-on button-down with Tupac's face on the back. Sir, this is Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Will you
he's
put on
obviously
a
a
Brooks Brothers shirt?
Put a suit on.
Good Lord. Yeah, that looked like
David Stern's not around here.
Damn. Yeah,
wow.
That's a oof. Well,
Halliburton was already injured as it is.
He was.
So, oh my God. I just went back to look at it. Man. That's tough. Go ahead, D.
Well, I was just thinking, what may help with that if they didn't have load management. And I mean, you never saw those old guys get these kind of injuries, did we? Or am I just being a cranky old man?
You know what? I saw an interesting stat a few years ago, Dmitri, and first round draft picks got injured, like in the 80s, got injured at a rate of like 16%.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously these players weren't on these big time weightlifting regimens. Mm-hmm. They were basketball players that were kind of getting into weightlifting at the time. And now the rate is something like 70% of first round draft picks miss 15 or more games a year. And there's something between too much bodybuilding, creating these stiff bodies, these stiff ligaments where the muscles are growing faster than the connective tissue. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to Tyrese Halliburton, who's a vet, but there is something to the idea of trying to build more physically demanding bodies, and they can't play the game of basketball. You need loose, skinny, spry guys. Like Allen Iverson,
yoga instead of
never lifted a weight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe these guys are wound up more than they were because of more intense bodybuilding and weightlifting.
Trying to do it for the gram.
That's good call. Good call, Tony. Man, that's awful. Now, Kaleo says the Pacers going to wield this championship. So if you are Indiana in this point, like you mentioned, Dave, not only does that person have to come off the bench, because Indiana's game, for the most part, has been let's play 10 guys almost, maybe not that many. But they're going to throw everybody at you. You're going to lose one of your main guys. what I didn't know until this morning, really looking at the stats, is that Siakam has been the guy
Oh yeah,
this entire series.
he was the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. So as much as it's Halliburton, Siakam has really been that dude. So they've got a bunch of guys that can, as much as again, I bemoan it, can shoot that three and get it out there. So I mean they got a chance. They still got a chance, I think.
I mean, what you're doing though is you're going to put TJ McCollum in there. He's going to get more minutes than he normally would have.
Yeah.
He's a defensive liability, but he is a firecracker on offense. He's also a cracker on offense. So, but if they can keep the ball in transition, maybe they do. But yeah, I mean, Siakam's got to take 25, 30 shots tonight now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and there goes your guy right there. I think he just missed one.
Well, and just watching that replay where he got hurt kind of gives me chills, because to get this far and then that happens
first
especially
quarter,
this early in the game, and he knows it immediately.
Yeah.
Look at them walking him out. They need to bring James Johnson in there and knock some heads out, injure some people, do some karate,
or sign Charles Oakley to a quick 10-day.
A 3-hour contract. Him and Rick Mahorn.
Everybody's bleeding, even their own teammates.
That's right.
There goes that man. There's Siakam right there.
I mean, Siakam's got to go 2019 Siakam now.
Yeah. He's got to be that guy tonight. He was going to have to be that guy anyway, but he really has to now.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam. So
Kazoon tight.
They're hanging in there right now. They got the lead, matter of fact, if they makes his free throw. Nope, missed the free throw. Dang. I gotta figure out how to pause my feed so we can be in sync.
You're only a few seconds ahead of us at this point, though.
Is that it? Okay.
And plus you rewound it, so
yeah.
I did, but I thought I caught up a little bit.
On my feed, he's about to shoot it right now.
Okay.
James Rapidro, bring back Boogie. It is a little surprising that Boogie Cousins isn't in the league. Although he can't really move. Did you see him try to fight
his nuts in Puerto Rico?
Saw that. Yeah.
For those
He's got balls.
He walked up to a fan, rubbed his balls, and put it in his face.
This, not the best thing to do. I saw something that this is obviously now with the injury, they still have to maintain. Indiana has to maintain their game plan, but Indiana something like passed, at least in game 6, like 25 more times, was it per quarter, I think, than OKC did.
Wow.
And that's a part of their offense. I mean, they do get the ball around, but that's a lot of extra passing.
Yeah, and OKC plays isolation, so that Obi Toppin might be the guy that needs to step up.
He played well in game 6.
Yeah,
very much so. He was the leading scorer in game 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like Shea up against TJ McConnell. That's a problem for Indy. They're going to have McConnell on an island every possession.
All right, here goes your boy Pascal again.
I'm still trying to think of 2 more whites. Oh, Christian Brown. That's number 4. Gosh, I forgot Christian Brown.
Oh yeah, that's your own dude. Yeah,
need one more white. Is Doug McDermott still in the league?
I don't know if Dougie's still in, but you don't get no Chet Holmgren doesn't get any love yet from you, or no?
No, he's rhythmic. That commercial, dressed in that Harold Pinter suit, he's rhythmic.
Like when you in the LeBron and Melo draft?
Mm-mm.
Those big suits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes. Tony's top tech says, do you know Siakam almost became a priest?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso with the defensive gem, a steal.
He's been great defensively in these playoffs.
I hate that the Lakers didn't re-sign him.
Yeah.
I loved him as a player.
I don't know if Tony should have said those comments back to back.
my fifth favorite white guy.
What team does he play
I
for?
think he got drafted by Atlanta, didn't he? I don't know if he stayed with Atlanta.
You might be right. I don't know now.
I think he did because I was like, yeah, if you're a white guy, your name is Grady, you have to be in Atlanta.
That's right. Hold on.
I need to watch more games next year because
By the way, did y'all see what was her name? One of the I think was it Fred Sanford's his girlfriend or something? What was the lady's name that he used to try
Donna?
Yeah. She passed away today.
I didn't know she was still alive.
I didn't either. I mean, she outlasted quite a few of them.
That's a good run.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're
Indiana's hanging in there.
They are.
I mean, maybe losing Halliburton is galvanizing.
They're doing what they
is
have
going on in the back of Williams' head. What is that? Is that a rat tail afro?
Well, Kaleo said they actually played better without him.
Good Lord.
I did not.
Now I got to go back and see it.
He had a fade, and then below the fade was just a poof of pubic hair.
Oh, so that's the black man's kung fu.
I mean, I am not one to talk about another man's hairstyle, but good Lord.
What is that? Where is that on the board at the shop? Is that, hey fam, let me get that X. What is
you have to turn it around. He's on the back.
Here we go. Down toward the end of the first quarter. Oh, is that a charge? It's a block. Charge block. Charge block is like one of the worst. If I was an official, that'd be one of the most stressful things to call.
Yeah.
I know they have the circle and everything now, but still, it's very stressful to call.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
No, that's a charge. That's on McConnell, you big goober. You don't get a block for that. Get out of here. You big lurch.
All right, who's this? Somebody coming in for Indiana.
I seriously believe that was a charge. I think McConnell had established a position.
That's what I mean. I thought it was going to be a charge myself, but
oh, don't lie, Rasheed Wallace.
I thought that it was going to be on Holmgren. And hey, tall guys, make your free throws. Come on now.
There's no way Rasheed Wallace could play in this NBA. Anybody who wears black Air Force Ones to play in
church pants.
Yeah. They give him 3 techs just at the beginning of the season, like complimentary.
Remember he had that patch of gray hair just randomly inside of his head?
Yeah, that used to drive me nuts. I didn't know what that was all about.
He was 24 and 42 at the same time. See,
at the end of the first 3-point lead.
If you're Indiana, you got to feel good about that, despite losing your all-star.
So now you've got to play 36 minutes without your main guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news for Indiana is that, again, quote unquote, they're hanging in there. Number one. Number two, this is the game. This is the one. So anybody who's ever played, that high school championship game or the NCAA championship game, this is it. So you got to give everything that you have in this one game. So even if you're on the bench, you're specializing in something, you've got to be ultra precise in everything you're doing because you have very little room for error if you're Indiana on the road.
The other thing is they're hanging in there, but SGA isn't really doing anything right now. If he turns it up, then they may as well just grab some popcorn and get ready to get on that boat and go to Galveston.
I mean, he's got 8 points. That's not bad in the first quarter.
It's a quiet 8, though.
It was a quiet 8 for sure.
Quiet 8. Halliburton had 9 before he went out. Siakam has 7. And here's your issue for Indiana as far as spreading the wealth, because they've got 10 players who have touched the floor, and Siakam, Nembhard, Halliburton, and Mathurin are the only ones that have scored. Mathurin has 2, and Nembhard had 4, and Tyrese had 9 of those. So You're right. McConnell's got to step up. Turner's got to step up. All these guys.
Turner didn't score.
He didn't score at all. No.
And he's got 1 rebound. Turner's got to be a factor.
That's depressing. That really is, for as much as he's supposed to be that guy, he needs to step up some.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, he's the second best player on their team right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to show up like that.
Meanwhile, you've got Shea with 8.
Dale Davis ain't coming through the doors. Antonio Davis, Rick Smits is nowhere to be found. Detlef Shrimp is not in the building.
Although I hope Detlef would be in the building though for a championship, maybe.
Where's Ricky Pierce when you need him? He was a Pacer, right?
I think so.
Oh,
Obi
Antonio
Toppin.
and Dale Davis.
Where's
The
Haywood
Davis boys.
Workman?
Antonio.
Burger King commercial.
Obi's got 0 right now. He's a -7 plus minus, so he needs to show up too. He showed up the other night, but as it goes with these games, the auxiliary players do tend to play better at home. I know it's an ongoing statement, ongoing challenge, but it's the truth.
James Rapetro, did you guys already talk about Durant being surprised at being traded to the Rockets? I can't believe the Rockets gave up Jalen Green in that deal.
I can't. The Rockets came out. The Suns came out, I think, as the winner of that trade.
I
in
agree.
my opinion.
I agree.
Because KD doesn't have that much longer to play. He's injury prone, and to get the younger talent, Phoenix getting the younger talent, and the number 10 pick, right? And how many, like 5?
They got 5 number 2s. Yeah.
5 number 2s.
I thought he was going to the Spurs. That's the first report I saw.
That's what I thought too. I sent that to you, Dmitri.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this could be a bigger part for Houston to possibly try to run after somebody else, maybe, and try to win this year. I mean, not like they couldn't win this year anyway, or next season, because they were number 2 in the league, in the West, so they had a good run with the young guys.
Kaleo dropping a David West. Kaleo should be on here. Jump on here.
David West action.
Speaking of impeccable mid-range jumpers,
how about it?
One of the best mid-range jumpers, especially off the glass, with Scottie Pippen. He always used the glass.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jen Glenn. He says, "Yay, sports!
Yay, sports!" Here we go with free throws. OKC missing free throws.
It's going to be a fun and informative show.
Thanks, Jen.
Because I'm from Houston.
That's Jen Glenn is Lisa Salters.
Jen Glenn, how do you feel about your Rockets having Kevin Durant? The Durantula is now in H-Town. He's still a 25-point per game man, even if he's injury prone. He's still an all-star.
Yeah, he is.
But he gave up a future all-star in Jalen Green.
Gosh, that's a lot to give up. I don't know. But it's the win now mentality. They're trying to get it now. And with KD, you really do have to get it either this year or next year.
He was the one seductively eating the chicken tenders in that commercial all playoffs, right?
Who, KD?
No, Jalen Green.
Oh, Jalen Green. That's right. Yeah. It was.
Kaleo says Durant is toast. Durant's still a top 10 player in the league. But he's now a number 2 option on a good team, right? He's a number 2 or a number 3 guy on a good team. He needs.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't go to a team that's already kind of ready.
San Antonio would have made sense if you could have got one more good year. Where's is Chris Paul? He didn't retire, did he? I didn't see that. Right?
He went to San Antonio.
He's in San Antonio. Yeah, he's in San Antonio. So I'm thinking you get one more good year out of Chris Paul. You've got Wembanyama. You've got a couple other great, young players, and you got Durant there. That would have been a great move for them. And maybe Houston's trying to do the same thing, but I really do think they gave up too much for it. I really do.
Doreen and I actually saw Chris Paul going to San Antonio. Where were we going? We were flying somewhere, and it was Chris Paul, I think his son and his uncle. They were on Southwest going to San Antonio, leaving here.
Southwest?
And Yeah,
Good Lord.
I guess that's how you keep your money.
Man, got $140 million flying Southwest.
I'm sure he wasn't in
Bird for the early bird.
Had
I
to.
think he did. I mean, we left
A1
before they did.
15.
Doreen actually talked to him, and she didn't know who he was.
Are you famous? Did she drop that?
No, he was standing. We were going through Clear, and he was standing. And she was like, "Are you in line?" He was like, "Oh no, ma'am, I'm not." And I'm just like, "Baby, you know what that is?"
Doreen's like, I'm A23. You're A26. Get back.
Yeah. So I was like, "Man, that's how you keep your money."
No,
By Southwest.
I'm flying at least Delta.
You would think the Spurs would have flown him out though.
Right.
You would think.
By the way,
Papa
Jen
was like, "I ain't got it."
Glenn, I was asked in the first quarter, my top 5 white guys. You chime in. Your top 5 white guys, Jen Glenn.
She's gonna be Dave J on the mic. James from Pedro.
Pedro. Yes. That was good. James, I remember that too. I was so upset that day. I remember I was still in Colorado and I was listening to LA Sports Radio when that whole thing went down, and then it didn't.
Yeah.
And I was just beside myself when Chris Paul didn't get here.
The one time the Lakers didn't get an advantage. The one time.
So, Kendall, what do you think about the Lakers being sold, or at least the majority stake being sold?
I'm okay with it. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact of a lot of people saying that now the Lakers can run like a true business, as if they weren't before.
Right.
Because you look at the pedigree of the team, just because you have all of this extra money doesn't necessarily guarantee you a championship. So I would hope that with the money that is coming in, that it will be moved into a direction where they can have more, or as they say, better infrastructure, because the whole line has been, well, the Lakers have been a mom and pop organization, but the Buss family has bank. It's more than just a mom and pop organization.
A mom and pop with 17 championships.
Well, yeah. And during the Buss run, it was what, 11 and 47 years or something like that? Like,
good run.
I think maybe only the Celtics are close to that. And now we're in the 60s when they didn't let the Rhythmics play. So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So the Buss dynasty, I mean, did even the Yankees, like in sports, is the Buss run as dominant as any ownership run? It might be.
I think it is,
especially in the modern era.
Between that, I mean, the only one that comes closest, at least modern era, is Reinsdorf with the Bulls, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, they only got 6,
and they only got 6.
But, I mean, comparison though, I mean, the Lakers have had 2.5 dynasties in that time. You know,
so. you have the '80s dynasty, you've got the 2000s, and you got one with LeBron.
Well, but you could argue that the 80s dynasties were 2, because you have the early 80s dynasty and like the late 80s dynasty, and then then the Kobe Shaq era.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they don't differentiate them, but those are different teams.
I think the 80s dynasty kind of rolls into one, just because.
Yeah,
I mean, the only difference you really have in the first half and the second half, I mean, there's a couple differences, but Byron Scott came along and made them better in the second part of that. You had Michael Thompson that came along and made them a better team. You had your McAdoo's early, you had your Michael Thompsons, you had your stalwarts. Spencer Haywood.
Shanking people in the locker room.
Your stalwarts were Magic and Kareem, and then eventually James Worthy, Michael Cooper, those guys, and the greasy AC Green.
Green, the glue, the virginal glue of that dynasty.
That's right. Yes. But I'm actually excited for it, because if they can hire the right people as far as the behind the scenes, okay, you need to get a good the top analytics person instead of just being one of the Buss kids. You need to get a top draft room instead of one of the Buss kids. Even though they're
still running though, right?
Jeannie's still going to run. Jeannie's still going to be the governor. but there's a couple of the other bus kids that are, and I say kids because, well, obviously, but they're
Right,
much older,
children. So.
that are part of the franchise are still running stuff. So maybe some of them can take a step back in what they're doing, and then bring in other folks that are top of the class in the league to say, okay, let's do it this way. And it's sort of really what the Guggenheim group, the group that eventually, that bought, the majority of the Dodgers and now the Lakers, what they did with the Dodgers. The Dodgers were floundering for years. They would get into the playoffs and then crap out and not have a good season. They were for years when they got all that money. And yes, baseball different than basketball because there's no salary cap in baseball. So you can spend lots of money. Basketball, you got a salary cap. So really the only way they can improve from an ownership standpoint is to bring those behind the scenes folks in to do more good things. And on top of that, not saying that I want to get rid of JJ Redick, not at all, because I think he had a great season as a coach. But now you can throw money at a coach because there's no cap on that. Part of the biggest reasons the Lakers did not get Tyronn Lue as their head coach a couple years ago was because of money. They didn't want to pay Tyronn Lue the money he was asking because of their budgetary constraints. Now they don't have that problem. They can get whoever they want to, as far as on the outside, not as far as the players on the court.
Is Magic a part of that group? Or was he separate from the group and invested separately in the Dodgers?
I don't know if Magic is a part of this particular buy. I hadn't heard anything. He might be, if it's overall. Magic has his money tied up now in Washington in the Commanders too. So, but he's got enough. It would be awesome if he was a part of that. But I hadn't seen that in the listing that Magic's going to be there. But it's possible though.
I want to go on one of his vacations when he has everyone on the yacht. Samuel Jackson, LL.
It's Magic's time of year.
All the black people.
We got a good game going on here. Indiana's still holding tight, even without Tyrese. We're tied up.
So Kendall, are you committing long term to Luka? Is Luka the future? Like, do you have to give him the supermax and tie your organization to him for the next decade?
I think you have to. I think that is the way to go, because otherwise you're going to have to rebuild in other ways. And Laker fans, me included, we expect a championship run every year.
Well,
and
yeah,
that's sad to say. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We expect them to be competitive every single year. And when they're not, it's never good for the city, not good for the fan base. So if you get a guy like Luka who can come in and give you several solid years, and then you can attract other players that want to play beside him, I think he is that guy. I think LeBron may have one more year, I think. And I would there's no indication that he's not going to opt in, which I don't think would be smart on his part to opt out, but LeBron is LeBron. And that's coming up here in the next couple of days, I believe. I think he should opt in, come on back, and see what kind of other people you can put around him. The two teams you're seeing tonight are showing you a different way at it outside of, I mean, Oklahoma City has a quote unquote big three, but Indiana has a bunch of dogs out there just playing ball.
Yeah.
And Halliburton's great. Siakam's really talented guy, but all these other cats are just out here. They're hooping, and they got it together within a year's time. Like you mentioned earlier, Dave, they started off crappy and then they got it together, finished fourth, which is all you got to do. Give me a chance, get me in the playoffs, and then let me show you what I can do once I get there.
Yeah.
And this is Luka's contract year, right? His last year of his contract?
I believe so. Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of have to sign him, because if you let him go, you're not going to get anything for him.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trade him right now because people would be like, "We'll just wait."
Yeah.
So, and then the Laker faithful will turn on the Lakers quick if they let the if they let the so-called backbone out of the city.
Can you imagine next year if both LeBron retires and Luka walks? That would be just okay. What's
Bronny's
next?
gonna be like, it's my time to shine.
Oh Lord, here come Bronny.
Shohei Ohtani, you got a jumper?
Seriously.
Got
There's
some work for
everything
you.
else. Gambling ass.
So
That's a good friend though. Taking the L for him.
So you think so? You're of the opinion that it was the translator doing it, not Ohtani.
How do you
Or that
get
it was
your
Ohtani.
hands on $13 million without? Yeah, I agree.
Especially when you defer all the money until way in the future. I would miss $13 million. But maybe that's because I don't have 50. I don't know. But yeah, ain't nobody just gonna take no $13 million. You know, oh, I didn't know. Or however you say I don't know in Japanese. I bet he speaks perfect English too, but he gets to dodge all those questions.
That's right.
You see him cussing and stuff in the locker room. I thought that was Birdman. That's Shohei.
You ever see the story of Yao Ming, where he didn't know English? Allegedly, he had just learned what he had from playing ball with the fellas, and he was walking up on brothers and dropping the N-bomb.
Oh,
like not salaciously, but not that there's an appropriate way for him to drop that. But
Well, like Jackie Chan in the pool hall.
We're at the 34-32. We're in the middle of the second, and now 37-32. Oklahoma City on top. So this is a good point here where if OKC puts on a nice run, they can make Indiana second guess things. But wait, my DirecTV just went out. Oh snap!
Get the landline.
So on that last play before Wallace hits that three, Turner has Wallace posted up and passes the ball out. He's got 6 inches on Wallace.
I hate that.
What the hell are you doing, Turner?
I hate that.
You've been in the league for 37 years. Play like it.
Yes.
Acknowledge the mismatch. Put your shoulder in his chest and punch on him.
Okay. Now Dave is going to be like,
I didn't mean to be so fiery. No, that's good. That's good.
I just don't get it. Mouse in the house, right?
Yeah.
Like clear out. He didn't even look to shoot.
9 minutes, 1 point for Miles Turner. That is not going to get it done.
James Rapidro. Yao Ming said it lasciviously.
Kaleo's like, oh, you got jokes.
Big man, make a free throw. He missed the second one.
Miles Turner is not showing up.
No.
He got 1 point.
Yeah.
And your main guy is down. This is on Miles Turner right now.
It really kind of is.
And there's not a big on OKC that can hold a candle to him. Chet's not big enough, and Hartenstein is not athletic enough. There is no reason why Miles Turner is not dominating this game.
He should take over. He definitely should take over. Yeah.
He's having a Karl Anthony Towns game.
Cat game.
Maybe he's shaving points like in blue chips.
Like game 7 of the finals. Good Lord.
Do that. I thought he was going to have a great game on Thursday or Wednesday when they played last Thursday, because it was an elimination game and he really didn't play that well then. But tonight's got to be the night.
Hi, Mona Risa. Mona Risa's not watching basketball, but hello.
Oh, I almost said it. Hello.
Oh, here we go back and forth with the threes again.
TJ McConnell can get a layup in the paint, but Miles Turner's got 0 field goals.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Shohei talked to Miles Turner. Shohei was like, hey, Miles, man, I got 13 million on this game. I need your help.
TJ McConnell with the okie doke in the layup. That was nice.
There's Reggie.
Is Reggie in the building? Oh, there he is.
Reggie's in the building.
And somebody tell Reggie stop tucking in jerseys into jeans.
I know.
Good Lord. I know he's an Indiana guy, but good Lord.
That's not a good look.
That's a Chris Mullin jersey he's wearing today, by the way, it looks like.
Chris
Have you,
Mullin.
Rod? Would you like
It's-
to jump on?
It's funny. I heard Reggie talking when they did the whole
calling below me, so she's not on camera.
when they were
Uh-oh.
doing like the goodbyes at TNT.
Uh-huh.
Reggie was like, I played in the league for 17 years. I've been on TNT for 18 years. I was like, wow, that's
crazy.
it is.
That's crazy.
He's very good.
Reggie's going to be going to NBC, right? He's on the NBC broadcast
Oh, is he?
next year,
Oh,
I
interesting.
think.
Well, I can't wait to see Barkley and the guys on ESPN. See how long that lasts. Because Barkley already said he doesn't want to work. So
No.
he was
He's
like,
not going to have to.
He was like,
He's
you're not going to have me on ESPN Deportes and all these other.
Barkley's not going to have to work as much, I don't think. Well, and then really, he only worked, other than the playoffs, he was only on once a week. Like the Tuesday games on TNT, he wasn't on. Shaq was on twice a week, but Barkley was only on once a week. I think in the new contract that they've signed, I think ESPN is only getting Friday night games, or they're getting less games than they used to. ESPN used to get, I think, the Wednesday and the Friday games. I think the Wednesday games during the week, or Tuesday games or whatever, they're going to Amazon, I believe. So he's not going to work as much. Probably the same kind of schedule that they had on TNT. I think it's just going to be a different night.
There is no reason for ESPN to hold on to their current lineup.
Good God, no.
No,
I mean,
Kendrick Perkins shouldn't be 100 yards from a microphone.
Here's what I say.
But
Here's what I say. I think with their pregame team that they have now, they all can do different things. I think collectively, maybe not the most functional, but Malika's great. She's still doing NBA Today. She's there. Maintain that. Stephen A. He's going to do whatever he's going to do. So he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's the Bobby Flay of ESPN. So.
Yeah, he's everywhere. So he's not going anywhere. Bob Myers, good business dude for the NBA. Bring him in on Sports Center every now and again.
Right.
Bring him in on First Take. That's fine. I mean, Kendrick brings a, kind of a somewhat of a levity to the situation. You kind of need to have that foil for the good broadcast. You need to have that guy.
You should give him a severance package. Hey, thanks for your service.
He's not Shaq, Kenny, or Charles.
He's not. But what I mean is, if Charles and Shaq and Kenny aren't doing Sports Center hits, which they probably won't be, keep Kendrick doing those kinds of things. Keep him showing up. Keep him on NBA Today. That's an everyday product for them. Keep him doing that 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, but keep him off the finals. Or if he does finals, he's just doing hits for Sports Center or something.
And Kendrick Perkins needs to go scare kids with Chakowski.
Or they should put him on ESPN Deportes.
Right.
Deportes. Here's a running story about this game that I'm noticing.
Uh-oh.
OKC is not shooting the 3 well.
But that's not the game, right?
That not really, but in the sense that Indiana blew them out in Game 6.
Yeah.
And part of that reason was because they weren't hitting their threes. And as I mentioned that, here we go, they hit a 3. But they're not as consistent, and it could be some Game 7 nerves. You could chalk it up to that. But they're up by 4 now. But still, it's the way this league is now, no big lead is even safe anymore.
No.
Even when Indiana was up by, I think, 20 or so at the end of the at halftime on Thursday, like they got plenty of time. Oklahoma City had plenty of time to come back.
Turner hits a field goal. All right.
He has 3 points.
Yay!
You make a good point, Kendall, because I think the turning point in this series was Game 4 when Indy had a double-digit lead in the third quarter and lost it and squandered it. And my thought immediately was this was your chance to go up 3-1.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to lose 2 in a row. I was surprised at how flat OKC was in Game 6, and sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the basket. But
that's true,
right? I mean, even that, to Dimitri's point, 20 years ago, that 10-point lead in the third quarter is probably pretty safe. But
yeah,
know.
Miles Turner with a brick from 3. Damn it, dude. This guy.
Chet Holmgren's soft.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
the skinny soft.
Can't. I just can't.
Yeah, there's no reason that Turner can't play bully ball a little bit here. And yeah, he's settling for a 30-footer.
He should.
Ooh, nice block by Siakam.
Good defense. Yeah. Really good defense by Indiana. It's they're sending everybody towards Shea.
Good.
Sending everybody towards Shea at this point. Like you're not gonna beat us by yourself.
Nope. Lugan Dortz needs to get hot.
Lou Dort.
Let's see if Dort can hit more of those threes. He can, but
he can.
Yeah, don't let Gil just beat you with 14 footers.
We'll look at the score here. We're at 40-40, and we got 3 minutes left in the second quarter. You have a defensive game. You've got some shooting woes. This is game 7 activity.
Yeah, it is.
This is the kind of stuff. You're not in your 60s right now in the second quarter. This is a 40-40 game, and you're going to struggle getting to 50 points. Both teams to get to 50 points before halftime. So this is the kind of game that you want.
You would think that would favor OKC, but with Halliburton out, this actually, is working out for Indiana. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Turner was late on that one, huh? All right.
Goaltending action. Yeah. So who's taking the shots in crunch time for Indiana?
Oh, it's Siakam. You isolate on Siakam every time.
It's got to be him. Got to be him. Yeah, this is lining up to be third quarter. Calling this game is going to be very interesting because I feel that we're not going to get past a 4 to 6 point lead here at halftime.
Tia, you're right.
4 is the quarters, Tia, so 4 equals
4 quarters. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In hockey, that's what I call periods.
They are periods in hockey because yes, they're
3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And halves in soccer.
We have halves in college basketball too.
That's right.
I wonder if they will ever change because the women's game went to quarters in college basketball, 10-minute quarters. I wonder if they'll ever do that in for the men.
More commercial breaks, maybe.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
I can't wait to see like that pseudo Olympics. I think they're having in Australia where they're going to let people use PEDs.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, right. The steroid Olympics.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Like if they were all on something right now, how much more entertaining would this be?
Oh, they're all on something.
You see somebody taking off from half court.
That's right.
Oh.
That's one of my conspiracy theories. I believe LeBron James might be the greatest steroid user of all time.
Really?
Yeah, but for the recovery aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's the only reasonable answer to his longevity other than luck.
Maybe
he has a lot of money. And I'm not saying that in any kind of negative thing. I think, steroid use can be, regulated and reasonable.
That's the only period where I really like baseball.
Yeah.
The steroid period.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was George Karl's hating ass said that, 80 to 90% of players are on steroids.
I hate George Karl. I wish Kenyon Martin would have sent his cousins or whoever it was after him. It was so funny. You remember that game where that guy was like talking crap to Kenyon and he was on the bench? He was like,
yeah.
And then his boys went and handled it. Because Doreen and we were like, I was like, baby, look.
Kenyon kept a squad that I made fun of his stutter one time on the air on KS 107.5, and his boys called me up.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Now, who knows if they were actually his boys, but I stopped joking at that time.
Probably a wise idea.
And you have a death wish. Messing with Kenyon Martin, messing with Rerun.
And that's
Who's
a
next?
rerun. I love rerun.
Man, she's cute.
Malika dressed like a sexy bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
You know, I would drink the whole bottle.
Good Lord.
I'm like, Doreen, I'm stopped up.
Hey, you quit talking about Dave McMenamin's wife like that, all right? You know, just saying.
Tell him to pull up if he has a problem with it.
Pacers on a 9-2 run in the last 3.5 minutes. They are hanging tough with a 3-point lead. Under 2 to go here in the second quarter.
No points for Obi Toppin yet.
That would scare the hell out of me. Run a 9-2 run, and we're up by 3.
That's right.
It's all right, though. Shea missing a 3. Indiana could go up by 5 or 6 here.
Risa says, who's cute? I want to see. Look up Malika Andrews.
Malika Andrews, yes, she does the
And her sister.
the host.
Oh, she has a
For
sister? She's also a great broadcaster. Like, it's not just objective.
Very good
She's actually very good at her job. So please
Very
don't get us wrong.
So, Dave, who
Yes,
would you
sir.
prefer, Malika Andrews or the soccer girl,
Oh.
Kay
Oh, the one that we
Abdul? Yeah, Kate Abdul.
Well, you were so excited about her ability to speak other languages.
For her to just translate live from Spanish to German to French, how attractive is that?
Yeah, but Malika has already shown a propensity to settle for white men, so I'm on that thing.
Speaking of settling for white men, Isaiah Hartenstein with an N1.
I've never met a white man named Isaiah. Except maybe in the Bible, but they were black too, weren't they?
They were
So,
Middle Eastern, right? Risa agrees. See, Risa agrees. Risa's got good taste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, Risa, look up Kate Abdul.
But it's a similar conversation to the Apollonia vanity. Like you're not losing either way.
Absolutely not.
Oh, quit flopping. You flopping ass flopper.
Lou, is that Lou? Lou Dort with the flop?
Lou felt like he got shot in the chest. Look
Bang,
at that.
bang.
And the Oscar goes to you flopping ass.
Anything to get another possession, I guess.
I mean,
So I've noticed this. Once the Euros start coming to the NBA, that's when the flopping really escalated.
that's all
And
Vladdy.
the reason I think it is because in soccer, that's all they do is flop.
Vladdy started all that.
Good old Vlade.
Vladdy is the grandfather of flopping NBA.
He
Yeah.
looks like he smells like cigarettes.
Oh, absolutely.
All day long. Absolutely. Yeah, Vlade wears cigarette cologne.
That's right.
Newports by Vlade. And then he runs up like when he ran up to Magic doing this.
That's good.
It's
All right,
wild
there's-
that Vladdy was traded, like Kobe Bryant was traded for Vladdy Divac.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Your franchise superstar, all NBAer, just can't. And you know what's funny about that is I remember being in North Carolina when that whole thing happened,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, why? Who? What? Why'd you do that? And after a year, it's like, okay, that's fine. I was okay
That's
with
like
that.
trading in a Yugo and getting an Aston Martin straight up. Like you don't have to put any other money on it. Just got to break it in a little bit and then.
I saw a story recently where New Jersey was hell bent on drafting Kobe,
Mhm.
and Kobe's people said no because Kobe didn't want to be near his parents.
Interesting.
That tracks.
And
Yeah.
John Calipari was so shook at the notion of Kobe not wanting to play for him that he drafted Kerry Kittles instead.
Kerry Kittles was solid. Yeah, he's not Kobe.
No,
but,
But Kobe.
It was not a bad pick, but yeah.
Yeah.
but would Kobe be Kobe if he went? Yeah, he would have been. But most likely.
So we have Nembhard making a 3 at the end, putting Indiana up by 1 at halftime, which
Wow.
you can't ask for more if you're the Pacers. You have the lead going into the locker room. Your main dude is down.
Your
So
center hasn't shown up at all. Your center's got 3 points and 2 rebounds.
yes, you can't ask for more if you're the Pacers.
You only got one player in double figures.
Let's see here. Spread it out. Siakam with 10. Nesmith with 3. Turner with 3. Nembhard has 9. Halliburton's 9. That won't grow anymore. Mathurin has 8. McConnell has 4. OKC is suffering in the sense that nobody else starting for them has double figures. Nobody else has double figures other than Shea.
Jalen Williams got 5. Jalen Williams hasn't shown up yet.
He hasn't shown up. Yeah. If Isaiah Hartenstein has the same amount as Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, they're not doing their job yet. They're not ready. They're not doing it yet.
When do you have a doorbell button?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, where's?
Hold on. Let's see here. I got to go through my entire library. It's normally when I'm on my show, I have it right in front of me. But
Auntie Dion.
Where the hell is my doorbell? Oh wait, there it is. Hold on. Let's see if it works. Did that do it? Hold on.
No, we didn't get it.
No, it didn't work. Hold on. Well, damn it.
You may have my issue. You may have to go into the sound and go from default Rode Pro Chat to just Rode Pro Chat. Or we could say ding dong.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Uh-oh, somebody at the door.
Who had to know?
Hey!
They done fucked around and let me in.
Well, we can always.
Oh, he gone. Grand opening, grand closing. Bye.
Fellas,
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be in a passenger princess tonight.
Cleo got a casting couch.
I told you that's that spirit couch. The one in the front the Gentry was sitting on. And before we get deep into Cleo's couch, this shirt, I want to show y'all. You remember when this happened? Here it is right here.
I don't.
It was an Ohio State game, and he got ejected, and he flipped the whole stadium off.
Yeah, I remember that now. Gosh, that was a while ago.
Yeah, and I just happened to find that shirt one day. This is my first, maybe my second time ever wearing it, because I'm not a Ohio fan, like the state, but
I love it, D.
No, I haven't been an Ohio fan ever. There's been like 2 or 3 people.
I love that on multiple fronts.
It's not what you think.
I love it. OH. Cleo, what are your takes on the first half, sir? You dropped some basketball knowledge earlier.
Kind of living it through y'all. I just kind of really cut it on. I've been just seeing some of the highlights. I don't know. I think the Pacers. I might pull for the upset of the Pacers. We'll see. So like I said, I haven't followed too much. I got it set up in the studio. So let me call it act like I got some knowledge. I was going to call him be the sneaker analyst for at least the third quarter. Like, oh, look at those shoes.
What do you thought on these pink ass shoes that these players are wearing that don't match the uniforms?
What that started back with Michael Jordan with the ones, the band ones.
He didn't wear pink,
but those did match though. They just didn't. They weren't white.
He couldn't wear it. Yeah, but he went against the grain that had didn't wear the dominant color.
I think that's another soccer thing though. The soccer influence is. I mean, look at their jerseys. Now they have the sponsorship on the jerseys. Even the referees are wearing sponsors on the jerseys.
Oh, worse. Everything's worse.
So now I'm seeing the actual injury footage. I don't know how far ahead or behind I am of y'all, but I had seen the Halliburtons because they're kind of peachish. I think that's just the color. Those in like that Volt green.
Are they Nikes?
Those are Pumas.
Okay.
The Volt green and pink are kind of always just the go-to colors to stand out.
A side benefit for the Pacers is that Tyrese Halliburton's father is not in the stands acting a fool, causing a distraction.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Another benefit for the team trying to win.
want to see him and John Morant and see him and T Morant go at it one day.
Oh, somebody's gonna die.
Slap boxing.
Oh shit! Here comes John Wick.
So I got Stephen A on my screen now. Looks like he added maybe an inch or two moving forward in that hairline
with his Easter suit on.
All right, true opinions about Stephen A. Smith. Like him, hate him, don't care.
I hate him.
I
You
think
hate him as an analyst or as a person?
there we go. I was gonna say it may depend on what he's talking about, because analyst wise, he knows his stuff, but opinionated wise, like his opinions suck. And his podcast is horrible too, by the way.
I've only seen a little bit of it, but I've never like stayed there for the whole thing.
And I think it's his cadence. He has that, he goes into like a deep kind of rhetoric when he talks, and he's just trying to lure you in. This guy's cadence is annoying.
But he's been doing that for however many years he's been on. So
yeah, I disdain the punditry that ESPN has become. It's all narrative talk. It's no longer analytics. I want to get in nuts and bolts. I don't want to get into passion and emotional things. Now,
like MTV.
It's like Fox News.
The Fox Newsification of ESPN drives me insane. I can't watch it. But have you seen Stephen A. do political stuff?
I have not.
A monster.
That's why. That's the Stephen A. that I like. Because he doesn't care about either side. He's going after everybody. He's like Bill Maher, but not funny.
Interesting.
You're right. That's a good take.
So I wish he would move on to political talk.
So I see some Durants. I see some old school Durants. What I see there, I can't tell what he's wearing. I see some Hardens, some Devin Bookers. Okay.
Jesus Christ. These Mike and Luther are tarnish hell.
He's eating on the air, folks. He's eating on the air.
Jesus Christ.
I had a revelation about Stephen A. And I probably should have known this long time ago, but it really came around these last couple months when you had the NFL draft, you have the NBA playoffs, you have baseball doing baseball, and you have WNBA, all this. And yeah, it's too much of him. Because one of my go-to apps, to probably nobody's surprise, is the ESPN app. I will go there, before I do almost anything. I'll go there more than I go to Instagram or anything. And he's always in my face. Like I can't get past this or score scroll without seeing him talk about, he's talking about the NBA. Oh, he's talking about the Cowboys. Oh, he's talking about, what's happening with Devers in Boston and San Francisco, all this. And I know that's his thing with First Take, but it just where I go for the information, it just gets thrown at me. So, maybe it's a me problem because I should know that anytime I open up the ESPN app, he's going to be there. So maybe I should go to CBS or another thing, but it's just too much for me. That's the thing.
Yeah. Vladdy had an emergency surgery on his hip after a motorcycle accident Friday in stable condition with a new hip. Wow. Thank you for that, Pat.
Probably on a Harley smoking cigarettes. And then there you go.
Another thing, Kendall, is, when Stephen A. gets on a tear against somebody, particularly, an athlete, he always tries to throw out his credibility as a journalist, as if.
You remember what he did to Kaepernick? The whole rhetoric on Kaepernick that Stephen A. spewed out, especially surrounding that tryout, that quote unquote tryout they were giving Kaepernick. That's kind of when I definitely went like away from that guy, because he made it seem like it was his thing. I told him he should do. I'm like, come on, dude, whatever.
Yeah,
like, he's a pawn. We know what it is.
It's just it's always about him. It's weird.
And again, he's like the Bobby Flay of ESPN. Like Bobby Flay is on every show on Food Network.
He just signed that contract too, didn't he?
$11 million a year, right? Something like that.
Every show that Guy Fieri isn't on, Bobby Flay is on.
Guy Fieri, why does he? I don't know. Maybe I need to give me a wig and just. I mean, that's the job to have. Just driving around eating.
I was thinking about that today. I thought about that. It's like how Guy Fieri won Best Food Network or Next Food Network star, and there have been other people who've won that competition. I don't know if they do it anymore, but like about 5 or 6 seasons they did Next Food Network star. He won that, got that show, and has just
never looked back.
Never looked back. And
Kelly
good for
Clarkson
him.
of Food Network.
The who?
The Kelly Clarkson of Food Network.
I would be the Reuben Studdard if I won it.
Right.
Every now and then you'll see me with a bowl of chitlin somewhere in Mississippi. Ooh, this is good. You ever had Cleo's chitlin loaf?
Risa, it's on regular TV. It's on ABC. Do you? But I guess you probably need like an antenna or something if you don't have cable or something.
You should be on. You should be able to watch it.
It's on regular network TV though.
On regular network TV, yeah. I think even you. Well, I don't know if you're able to watch it if you're just streaming. You may need an antenna. Who has an antenna still in their home? Anybody still have an antenna?
I got one in the garage in case stuff dies.
I got
World War III.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'm thinking about switching back to IPTV because I'm tired of paying for all this stuff.
Is that the one with like 600 channels from across the world?
8,000.
Yeah.
I get my cable from Canada.
What?
Yep.
Well, I couldn't find an Arsenal game one day. And I got it in Saudi Arabia. So I was like, I don't know what they're saying, but I'll turn it down and watch it.
Now you're on a watch.
So
yeah, that's where we had all those porn channels too.
So with the cable I have, I can still get local channels in different markets. I can watch Fox 5 in Texas. I can go state to state or whatever market. They stream all that too. Then you get your movies and your regular cable channels too. $39 a month.
Damn, you can't beat that. There's no DVR though, right? That's the only downfall.
The downfall.
That's a lot. $39 a month. I was paying $120 a year.
Wow.
I was giving them away for like closing gifts. It was amazing. I the only reason we don't do it is because Doreen is so used to Hulu, or she's a creature of habit. Me, if I can find it, I'm good. I mean, we would have all the pay-per-views for free, all of the pay channels for free. It's kind of crazy to keep doing Hulu. I need y'all to talk to Doreen for me.
Hey, Doreen, stop that. Cut it out. Watch it on replay. We still, I'm guaranteeing you positively that we overpay for it because we have DirecTV, but then I still pay for like the ESPN extra channels and all that other stuff too, and then Peacock, and then Netflix, and all those things.
Yeah. I use my cousin's Peacock account. The one that moved to London, she kept it, so it's like me, her sister, her mom. They're gonna catch her eventually, but until they do.
Jen Glenn, $39 a month is too cheap. I'd be scared the FBI was watching me.
Get tired of paying like those expensive Verizon and prices, whoever you have. It's just cable's crazy. You don't even need it.
Well, and what makes it worse is, since we are talking sports here to a degree too, that everything's so spread out. So if you really want to see the games, you have to go where they are. So like we were mentioning earlier, now that Amazon has a piece of the NBA, if you're a big NBA fan, you want to get Prime so you can watch the NBA games. Just like if you're a all-out NFL fan, you've got Thursday Night Football. Now, granted, the Thursday night games, for a little while weren't that great, but now even they have a good package of Thursday games. So that's something else you got to pay for if you want to see them live. Yeah,
and college football, depending on the conference you like, if you like all of it, then these different conferences have deals with different stations. So it's we need to start stealing.
Is it crazy to see live events, big events streamed on Netflix now?
Yeah, it is. But it's the way it's going. And good. I mean, I shouldn't say good for Netflix because it's bad for us because now we've got to go, somewhere else to find it. The fact that Netflix now runs Monday Night Raw, one of the biggest programs for professional wrestling, is crazy to me.
Yep.
And if you were used for all those years watching it on USA Network because it was there, it was on your cable. Now you have to actually subscribe to Netflix to watch that. That's nuts.
That's
and
crazy.
the fact that you have and it's only Netflix it's so crazy that it's only 2 games, but Netflix has 2 football games, 2 NFL games on Christmas.
Yep.
And you feel FOMO if you're missing those games on Christmas. You're like, oh no, I can't watch the games because I don't have Netflix. So what do? Do I pay for it for a month? Do I borrow somebody's password? How do I do it? It's 1 game or 2 games on Christmas Day. But if you're hosting the Christmas gathering or the holiday gathering, if you don't have Netflix, somebody better have a password so you can log in.
At this point, who doesn't have Netflix? But the crazy thing is Netflix is getting Canelo and Bud.
Wow.
They're gonna have that fight.
Now, Kendall, if Netflix has Raw and they're no longer constrained to advertisers, I suppose, are they giving a more adult programming, or are they sticking with, PG-13, borderline PG-17?
It's a good question. That's a very good question. So,
because I haven't watched this Papa Shango.
And Kaleo was like,
that's Alice Mbe, by the way. I told you he was a member of the wrestling group I was in.
That's funny.
Folks know.
That's a good question. So what they've done is they actually do run commercials even on Peacock now, because all of the WWE, they used to be called pay-per-views, but now they're called premium live events because now you just pay for Peacock and you can get them. They run commercials during those now, which is crazy. So it really depends on the subject matter. Like the big story of the year was, John Cena turning heel against Cody Rhodes. And, during that premium live event that ran commercials, Cody Rhodes cussed on Peacock. So that it's still there. It's not like they're going over the top to do it, but it's there now more so than not.
Remember when Booker T called Hulk Hogan N-word? That was cool.
Hogan, I'm coming for you. No. And then turned his head.
He looked back.
Wasn't that Sensational Sherry there with him?
Sensational Sherry. Oh my god!
And especially going at Hulk Hogan, that racist MFer.
Oh my god! There was a rumor over the weekend that he was on his deathbed after a neck surgery.
Yeah, that got disputed. I think that they whoever put that out. Well, I know who put it out there was Bubba. Yeah, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, he put it out there
in Tampa.
Yeah. But so we've got action, folks. We're back in the third quarter.
I'm at 11:09. Where are y'all at?
I'm at 10:59.
11:12
here. We're close.
Wait, let me pause for 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm at 11 seconds right
7,
now.
8, 9, 10.
You didn't miss
11.
much, Tony.
Okay. Okay, what just happened to y'all? OKC just. Oh! What a shot!
Yep.
Is that Lou Dort?
Oh. Yep. Well, damn, Lou. Jen Glenn, I have Paramount for free because Dreamer logged on at my house and didn't sign out. I've been playing it ever since.
Wait till you have a power outage. You're gonna be damn.
Ooh, Siakam.
Pascal Siakam with the answer.
It's time for Siakam to put it on his back.
Yeah, he's gonna have to.
My brother with the yellow afro is not getting out of Oklahoma City.
I think we're more in tune now. I think I paused just enough, just to make us all get right there in tune. Lou Dort, and then
for Shea to be perhaps one of the up and coming faces of the league, his signature shoe sucks.
It's a Converse, so
Yeah, but just the design is.
Wait, is he with Converse?
Yes.
Well, Nike
Now,
owns Converse.
Nike owns Converse. So is this an attempt to bring that brand back, so to speak?
Yeah,
Like
he's
putting
a
a signature athlete on there?
he's a signature athlete, but his colorways are horrible. He had like a brown Timberland color for his first colorway.
That's what Zion should have had. He should have signed with Timberland.
So
And now-
Kaleo, when it comes to a shoe release, how much does the equity of the personality matter versus the aesthetics of the shoe?
I think it's pretty important because right now Anthony Edwards is probably you could give him one or two face of the league, and his sneaker line is amazing. He had one of the best shoes of the year.
Mm.
And you know, kids love Steph, so his sneaker sells even though nobody wears Under Armour.
Yeah, I was going to ask about those Steph shoes because
Those
Right.
CNAs.
right when I mean Steph's stock was really taken off, that's when the announcement came that he was going with Under Armour, and people were like, "What? Whoa, what is that?"
Yep. And a cool thing too is, so Steph sells to the kids. I mean, there's some adults who will wear it. But Dame Lillard, I don't know if you heard about him. His sneaker line, he refuses to have his shoes go above $100 because he wants kids, you know, and basketball fans to be able to afford his shoes. So he will not take the quality. He doesn't take top tier materials on his shoes to keep them under $100, but they still, you know, Adidas still makes a quality shoe. And then, you know, the colorways are pretty dope. So that's a good thing.
Dame got those kids playing in burlap.
He didn't go full Starberry though, with the
Starberry.
which, by the way, applause to him for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's no shade on that.
As you talk about it right here,
Hey,
There's no shade on that at all.
keep them close. Starberry.
And
Nice.
those weren't bad shoes.
What do you think about Shaq and AI running Reebok?
That's good. It'll draw in big names just because of who they are. Just like when you sign Jay-Z to Puma to become the president of basketball sneaker operations. Drew in athletes.
Yeah.
Because you had to figure that Rock Nation or what's the name of his Clutch Sports?
Clutch.
Sports?
No, he's Rock Sports.
He's Rock
Clutch
Sports.
is
Clutch
yeah,
is
Clutch
Paul.
is Rich
James
Paul.
Paul.
Right?
Rich Paul, yeah.
Yeah, so his sports was tied into that too. That's right. Yeah.
I know Kaleo knows this story. I don't know. I'm assuming Dmitri and Kendall, you know this as well, but the main reason Steph didn't sign with Nike was when they went to pitch to him, they put Kevin Durant's pitch deck up and also called him Steven. Like,
Who got fired over that?
right?
Fumble.
Quickly. Somebody had to. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's
It's
really
horrible.
bad. Awful. Yeah, somebody didn't get another job in the sneaker industry because of that.
What if it was Phil Knight? Hey, Steven.
Right.
Well, I can't fire myself.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
And I think Kevin signed a lifelong deal with Nike.
Well,
You're,
now he's going to Houston. He won't need lotion for his ankles because that humidity will take care of it for him.
So you go to Houston for the money. You don't go to Houston to win a championship.
I think both because they have a
Both.
nice little squad.
Well,
Yeah.
not anymore. They traded their best player. It's part of the deal. I mean, well, no, Sengun.
And plus, having KD where he doesn't have to be the focal point, he can just play basketball like he wants to play basketball. And I think it's a good move for him.
I think Phoenix, the time in Phoenix was wasted. I mean, Phoenix had that window to win something, and being a Lakers fan, I'm kind of glad that they didn't. But as a basketball fan, they had it set up for them with him and Booker, and heck, Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Even though Beal was injured for a good portion of that time, they had it set up to make a run, and they just couldn't get it together, which was very, very sad as a basketball fan to see that kind of talent stacked on one team, at least top heavy, and them not able to do anything with it.
Bill hurt his chances by staying here in DC too long.
Yeah, you're right. I think
When
so.
he refused, when he pretended like he didn't want to leave, but nobody else would come. I mean, they could only get Russ for him, right? And that was just that squandered a couple years away out of his life.
He also forced Phoenix's hand on Durant a little bit because, you know, he opted in. He's got another 50 million coming his way this year, and he opted in for that. And you can't blame him for that at this point in his career. But they're trying to say, look, we haven't really gotten much out of you. You want to maybe move on? He's like, no, I want to get paid. You can't blame him for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The crazy thing is that the Durant news came like on the day of Game 7 of the finals. So that's one of those middle fingers to Oklahoma City and Indiana.
Yeah. Wasn't he in an interview when he found out? Like on stage talking to somebody?
Fanatics Fest, yeah, in New York. Yeah. That's how he found out.
Oh, that's Fanatics. Crazy. The worst thing that happened to sports apparel.
What's your take on that? That's interesting.
Garbage organization that has created terrible product across the board.
What's that?
Fanatics. Fanatics is a dumpster fire of an organization, and they shouldn't exist.
It's just expressed by Dave J on the mic.
The quality of the products you think are just bad?
Awful. It's awful. Their swingman jerseys are garbage. The t-shirts are overpriced and ridiculous. It's screen printed garbage. It's just
shit. I forgot to order my
so bad.
My Sweets shirt. Can I still order it?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
right. I'll order it tonight.
Is that Miles Turner from way downtown?
All right, he's waking up. Yeah, Kendall, when the Nuggets won the championship, I literally bought $300, $400 worth of stuff. So like, this is never going to happen again in life. And every single item I got was just disappointing and obnoxious. And it's all Fanatics. They just have a stranglehold and a monopoly on the industry right now.
They do have everything. You go to .shop.com and it takes you right to Fanatics for the most part.
Yeah, that I mean the expo they had, I mean, seemed to be pretty interesting outside of the company, but it was good to see that they cut some wrestling promos there. Brady had the interaction with Eli there. I don't know if you saw that.
I have to catch up with what happened like today. I know Kevin Hart did his thing yesterday.
Yeah.
We got a 3-point game with OKC on top. And is that Chet for 3? Chet for 3.
Uh-oh.
With his bangs.
Indiana's in tough territory right now.
6-point game.
This could balloon if they're not careful. They've got the momentum on their side.
Yep.
Now, this is what's going to be interesting right here. Where now you got a turnover. Indiana tried to score. OKC got the ball back. They get a 3 here. This is you're right. This is danger zone.
Dangerous territory right now for Indy.
But you don't even need a 3. Just get a good 2. There's Shea.
This is exactly what happened to Denver in Game 7 of their series too, where they
with the bounce.
The shooter's touch.
901. There you go. That's a good run.
Yeah, that's tough.
But again, I can even get a shoe deal with Stride Right.
Buster Brown.
That's what Mama B used to buy for you, right?
I used to all the time.
Tony wants to know Barry Barnes should be in the Hall of Fame. I think Barry Bonds should be. Barry Barnes should not.
Barry Barnes probably not. Barry Bonds, yes,
for sure.
I don't know Barry Barnes. You on that syrup?
Fat Tony did have a meeting.
Who's got the button?
I got a meeting in the ladies' room.
Rabbits.
Barry Barnes real soon.
Rabbits.
Mona Risa says, I'm going to Pluto since I can't watch along.
Oh.
Do you have you don't have an antenna? You can't watch. What's ABC in Vegas? Real estate Poppy. What's in Vegas? What's the channel? 15?
Let me see. I'm gonna say it's. Let me say it is 13.
13. Mona Risa, turn to 13. Can you turn to channel 13? Can you get channel 13? ABC Vegas. That's where the game is.
Watch the TV start smoking.
You don't still have a floor model, do you? You got the Magnavox on the floor.
Like Curtis Mathis.
Curtis Mathis.
It's crazy to see how there are no more high top sneakers in the NBA.
Yeah,
Everything
that was one thing they
Everything-
pointed out on the Shaq and AI thing.
a mid or a low, and which they say is probably a lot of reasons why we have the Achilles injury.
And Kobe started it, right?
Kobe, yeah, Kobe was the one who kind of wore until he had his injury. Then they built that boot for him.
Yeah, the boxing shoe.
Yeah,
Do you think, Kaleo, that's just a style preference?
I think it's just a style thing now. I mean, Rasheed Wallace was heavy into that super high top, and as bad as Steph Curry's ankles are, you would think that he would have a high top sneaker instead of those specially built ankle braces.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're away from the high top sneaker. I mean, now it's a mid or a low.
Tony, are you behind on the live stream a little bit? I wonder.
Tony's watching Game 6.
I wonder if Tony's 20, 30 minutes behind us.
Tony's like, shoot it, Reggie.
Tony's like this.
He might not
That's
be.
right,
He might
Spike
not
Lee, you ain't ish.
Curtis Mathis, I think my uncle was named after that TV. Curtay.
That was such a missed opportunity, though. If Zion would have gone to the Knicks and Timberland would have made a shoe for him.
The first Tim basketball shoe. I
I
miss
still
good high
remember-
tops though. High tops are I really do miss those.
I still remember President Obama being like, his shoe broke.
Moves on this summer.
What do you think,
Zion?
Kaleo?
You think Zion moves on?
Oh, yeah.
Is he a free agent? I didn't know he was a free agent.
He's going to do the trade. I mean, I think
trade.
I think that his days are kind of almost numbered down there.
Seems like he could use a fresh start.
Man, when he had gained all that weight and they were talking about maybe he could go to Portland, and Charles Barkley was like, what, they ain't got food in Portland?
But do you mortgage a lot of your draft picks or whatnot, or who do you trade them for though? Are you going to put your what are you putting in at risk to get Zion at this point?
Right. I mean, we're
Bronny?
spot for him.
Bronny.
Wait, if the Lakers traded Bronny for Zion, bring him on. Bronny, go.
Yeah.
Bring him on
I mean, Zion and Luca. Two
Zion,
people
Luka, and LeBron. I'd be all right
Big
with that.
backcourt. There's gravy in the training room between those two big bastards.
That's the gravy train. It wouldn't be Showtime anymore. Whoop, whoop. The gravy train is coming.
Wearing double X basketball shorts.
Like the old days.
Tap past the knee.
Yeah, Indy might be at the end of their Cinderella run.
Well, let's see here. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
9-point lead.
well,
no,
okay, I'm a little ahead of y'all then.
TJ McConnell keeping them in the game. You
If
better
Tyler
respect.
comes out
You better
on
respect
that
TJ
Raptors
McConnell tonight. 8 points in 16 minutes.
So what's going to happen is if OKC, if they're going to live and die by the three, you might allow Indy back in this game.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just
they
shot
are
one just right
settling.
now. Yeah.
I mean,
It's surprising to see Shea not going into the paint on that.
TJ McConnell again. He's on fire.
Now you need 3 to be on fire, like double dribble.
That's right.
No, there goes your boy Chet.
okay.
There goes your boy Chet. All right, they're back in it. So that 7-point game. This is still for OKC though to be at home.
he's
and
on
to
fire
be-
now.
Yeah, to be at home for OKC to be at home, and for Tyrese Halliburton to be out. This is extremely way too close in
Yeah.
the third quarter. Extremely way too close.
I mean, Steve Harvey at home watching, like, what your ass say?
Oh,
TJ out here
wow,
balling out of
baby.
control.
I mean, I think when you play like you have nothing to lose, you play more dangerous, especially if the other team is playing. If they're playing down to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think OKC. I mean, they should have put their foot down and just went ahead and just took this game over. But keeping the Pacers around.
Kaleo, I love that you use that phrase. I see that all the time in situations like this, and I heard it today. They were talking. It was some pundit, I forgot who it was, talking about the Pacers, saying, well, they're the underdogs. They have nothing to lose. You literally have the championship to lose today. They do that in the Super Bowl. Like, they have nothing to lose, so they might put it all out there. You have something to lose. You have the thing to lose. Hate that cliche so much. Sorry.
Their star player.
Fight. We had a fight button.
Would take the gas out a lot of squads. But luckily, I mean, they play good without him. They just what is it, 6 right now?
6-point game.
No. Obi Toppin needs to make an impact here.
Obi Toppin.
Cleo's like, I don't like scallops. I'm not eating them. I don't have anything to lose. And then Dave is,
you better eat those goddamn scallops. You gonna have me paying for these scallops? You better eat some scallops.
I didn't mean to go on a little tirade there. It's like conversate to me.
Oh.
This possession, this passing, Indiana's passing, as I mentioned earlier, is vital, key to them, because they just keep getting it around until they get a better shot. And this is good for them. They're only down by 4.
you go ahead, SVP talking about the ball movement was incredible.
Well, you were talking about, the idea that, OKC playing half court defense is a problem for Indiana. Well, when you have Halliburton out there, he's a ball stopper.
Yeah.
He's a one-on-one player, and now they don't have that element. Maybe in a way that's a good thing.
Oh, turnover for Indiana. Man. That's
the fact that Toppin was in the dunk contest is ridiculous to me.
He's one of the most ridiculous athletes ever.
The dunk contest is
trash.
I think, the dunk contest needs to be about stars, but stars don't really want to be in it.
They don't want to do it. They don't want to take the L.
Yeah. And that's where they lose in the dunk contest.
The problem is stars being in the dunk contest is like a headlining stand-up comedian. You get gassed up just for being there.
Yeah.
You're going to get an extra level of credibility, even if your dunks are kind of ass.
Yeah. I think Braun should have at least did one. Just try it.
Yeah.
If you lose it, you lose it.
Okay.
Yeah, imagine Anthony Edwards in a dunk contest next year.
Whoever it was, Anthony Edwards, Ja Wick. I love Ja. I just wish he would stay out of trouble.
Ja Wick. I love that.
Got to get the gun.
Where is it?
Go home and get the gun. Go home. Run.
That's T talking to him.
I tell you what, McConnell was doing a lot for team basketball shoes tonight. The fact that he's wearing those plain old shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Is he
those
Monarchs? It's funny you mentioned that, Kaleo, because I've noticed that all playoffs. I'm trying to figure out what in Pro Wings he's wearing.
Basic stripped down Nike team shoe.
He stopped by the outlet on the way to the stadium, and
McConnell went by WSS.
Right.
And he's like hooping, like he's.
And it's the same pair he's worn all year.
Right.
Good pass. Bad shot, though. Oakland, they put the graphic up, which I think this is key, even though OKC's up by 9 right now, which is, a fairly good lead, but can be chomped into. This lead could be so much better. OKC was only 5 for 12 from 3.
Yeah.
So which tells you they've shot a lot of threes in the quarter. Should they be shooting more, better shots at this point? Get your better shot internally if you can inside the 3. Indiana 2 for 4 from 3. So imagine if, okay, say for instance they make 3 more of those threes. It's it's a blowout right now.
Yeah.
But if you get even 6 of those points, you're not too far off. There you go. Get to the basket. There you go. There you go. We got an 11-point lead, so this is
yeah,
stretching a little bit. And Rick Carlisle calls time. All right, biggest lead of the game.
Yeah.
Here we go. They still, I think they still have Indiana's got 1 or 2 runs in them. But we'll see if that happens now or whether OKC closes the quarter, gets like another 9 points, and then we're in a really bad place for the Pacers.
Yeah.
It's going to be the most tame night after winning the championship if they win in Oklahoma. We're like, oh, well, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go home. You're not going to see people climbing all on the light poles like in Philadelphia and people just riding police horses down the street.
Not golly gee willikers.
We have to be at the farm in the morning.
I don't know how to hog tie people. What would I hog tie?
I will say, has anybody been to either Indianapolis or to Oklahoma City? Actually visited? No?
There's been no reason.
I went to Tulsa one night. That was it.
I've been to Indianapolis a couple times, and it's a nice city. It is, I wouldn't say it in the Indianapolis is not rhythmically challenged. I'll say that.
Boy, that's where Mike Epps is from. It's like hood Denver, isn't it?
Indianapolis does have some definite hood areas to it. Believe me. But it was nice when I went in. I mean, when you look at it too, one of the biggest games in HBCU football used to be held in Indianapolis, the Circle City Classic, every single year. So, there's representation in Indianapolis for sure. Oklahoma City, I'm not so sure about. I've never been. TJ McConnell keeping them in it again.
He's on fire.
He
12 points.
fire.
He's going to be the new king when they give him his own shoe. Monarchs worn by.
TJ did that ish.
He did. Yes. That's the sign to hold up if Indiana comes back and wins.
But like, this dude is ready to leave it all on the court. Like, Brown, that's what you need. If you can find somebody else on that squad to match that same energy.
Are those Monarchs?
What's interesting, you mentioned that, Kaleo, is that Siakam is supposed to be that guy right now, but TJ is doing it all for him. And whereas Siakam had the juice early, TJ McConnell is keeping them in this game right now.
It's got to be the shoes.
I mean, you got Miles Turner with 6 points. Neesmith's got 3.
Siakam with 13, Nembhard with 11, McConnell with 16. Keeping them in the game.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, SGA with 22.
And Jalen Williams has become a factor in the third quarter.
14 points. Yeah, he's having a good third quarter.
Oh, now Carlisle's going to get kicked out of the game.
Fire up your squad.
If you're not fired up now after your main guy gets out, gets injured, there's not much more firing up you could do.
Okay, we've been picking on him for no reason. Hold on, let me bring this up. Jesus Christ. Ooh.
What is? Oh, hey.
No, that's just an ad. Close this. He's wearing some Jaws. Some Ja Wicks.
The team version, because
Ja has a team version?
Yeah.
Huh. I did not know that, but I am no longer a shoe guy like I used to be.
The Ja 3 is actually going to be contender probably for sneaker of the year.
Wow.
And that's a huge turnaround because the 1 and 2 is garbage.
Is that why they were like $115 or $120?
Yeah, and then because he's still not their signature athlete yet. I mean, for Nike, LeBron has probably still got the signature, the signature athlete for the shoe. under that is probably there's still Kobe too. Kobe sneakers are still selling.
If punk ass Vanessa would let them make more, I mean, is she the reason that, or is it just Nike?
No, she did. She's allowing them to do what they need to do. So there's a lot more Kobe's. There's like a Kobe being released once a month now. Like at first she had the reins on it and she wasn't doing it, but now there's like a new Kobe every month.
Are they still like limited quantities though?
No, they're making them available. Caitlin Clark has a Kobe PE colorway coming out that's going to be pretty hot. That'll probably sell out. They re-released the boots. They got a couple of Kobe boot. Those what number was that? The 9 that came out this year.
The ones that CB had.
Yeah, CB got 2 pairs of those this year.
I'm gonna go to Erica and be like, "Hey, call your people and tell them to send me all the Kobe's. Probably get them for like $90."
Yeah, and then Durant is still up there, but Ja's making his way.
Wow, that's a major stat here. Oklahoma City, 18 points off of turnovers. That's where you win the game today.
Yeah, yep. It's about to get out of hand. It's about to get out of hand unless they.
Josh should have his agent call Ruger. I bet they would like do a deal with him or Glock.
For signature get.
I don't think Voldemort would like that.
The sweet genius.
Yeah, he wouldn't like that too much.
How do y'all feel about one of the Morris twins on ESPN now doing analytic work with Haslam? Have you watched any of that?
Was it Markeith or Marcus?
It's one. I don't know which one it is.
I think it's Markeith. I think. I like Haslam. I really do. I saw him on McAfee the other day, and I like Udonis doing stuff. Carlisle looks like a racist. Damn, James. He's the one that don't want you to bring those people over. Yeah, I think it's interesting to see how the players that really want to go into broadcasting, how they just kind of leak into the league, into the after the games have done, after they're out of the playoffs, something like that. So yeah, but I haven't seen much of whichever Morris it was, but I have seen Udonis. Udonis is pretty good.
Yeah. Morris is okay. I mean, everybody gets a trial period, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many things now, and the good thing about it, for the athletes, and heck, okay, for us, let's just say this honestly, is that we have such an open space to do something like this now when it was restricted. Like only so many people could talk about sports or talk about this, that, and the other. Now with the podcast realm, with YouTube, with Twitch, with Kick, with all that, everybody has a chance to jump in and do their thing. So with all these, athletes who might want to do something, it's there. But as mentioned by you, Kaleo, many times, and I think Dmitri and everybody else has done a great job, and is the consistency of it. You can want to do it, and you may be okay at it, but you've got to start attracting people. But in order to attract people and get better, it takes the reps. So if you don't do it, but like 5 times, and you're like, oh, well, nobody's listening, or this, that, the other, well, you didn't really give it a chance. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing it.
And I wonder now, especially if you have any sort of cachet whatsoever, is it better to not get a major network deal? Because, I mean, look at Pat McAfee owns everything and then made ESPN his bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what Shannon's been able to do, but even like the smaller ones, like what Gilbert Arenas has done, and KG and Matt Barnes, like it's a lot better to be untethered and have your own thing if you're willing to do that other work, or have people that'll do that work for you, so you're not tethered by a 2-minute segment on ESPN where Stephen A is going to suck all the air out of the room because he's got to hear himself talk.
Right. And I think I was going to say that about what was that, All the Smoke? Barnes and Jackson.
Yeah.
really built a good platform, and I think they kind of paved the way to show you what to do because they took everything out their pockets first, and then the deals came with whomever they have. And I think they were on Showtime now. Shay definitely had, he built his brand up to be
the pivot
entertaining. I think Chad is a big reason why that nightcap is doing well, and
he's a great balance. He's a great counter for Shannon.
Yeah, and now that Joe Johnson, because he doesn't take anything serious, and then now you got Joe Johnson who kind of gives good analytics, and then
Joe Johnson has more personality now than he ever had as a player.
Because I tried to meet. Look, my buddy played for the Nets, and Johnson was there. The guy would come out the locker room, wouldn't say anything to anybody. Like he was just kind of to himself.
Kaleo hanging with Yinka Dare.
That was Kaleo and Kerry Kittles at the Waffle House. I could have been hanging out with Kobe. Y'all messed me up.
Wait, I want to get to Fat Tony's question. He says, blackout restrictions are stupid in this day and time. What do y'all think? I think in the era of streaming and in the era of the regional sports networks going away, I think we're going to see fewer blackouts because you don't really see the games locally like that. Oh, Big Three from OKC. You don't see you won't see the games like they used to. The reason they had the blackouts mainly because was of local channels covering the game and regional sports networks. But now some of those are really going away. I think blackouts are kind of the thing in the past. And even the NFL's changed that up because remember, anybody old enough or remember that NFL used to black out the home games if the team did not sell enough tickets. Like in LA for years, which is part of the reason, which people don't bring up a lot, part of the reason the Raiders and the Rams left LA was because you could never see the games here. Because they wouldn't sell out Angel Stadium for the Rams or the Coliseum for the Raiders.
All those people, and they couldn't sell it out.
Couldn't sell it out, which is, well, the Coliseum's one thing because the Coliseum is 100,000. You can't, I mean, come on, which is why they redid the stadium.
You put that big ass sheet up to cover the seats.
Exactly. Anaheim Stadium, where the Rams used to play, Anaheim held like 65,000, but you had to be in Anaheim because nobody really wanted to travel all the way down to Anaheim to watch football like that. And unless the teams were good, you wouldn't sell it out like that. Lakers, sure. Dodgers on, even all the Dodger games here don't sell out. I mean, there's still seats in Dodger games. You could go today on a good day like this, the Dodgers are playing well and get seats. But the NFL had a major expectation because it was 16 weeks a year or 8 games a year. All these games should be sold out. So if we're not selling it out locally, we're not going to show it on TV. They went past that, thank goodness. So I don't think we're going to deal with blackouts like we used to, Fat Tony. Other than that, either that or you just got to pay for the service.
Yeah, well, Gentry said blackouts are really stupid. She didn't even know what a blackout is. She just said it's really stupid.
She was talking about the power grid going out in Houston.
Yeah, that's that blackout.
That's that blackout.
I mean, she's right.
She was like, I was hot.
James says he thinks JJ Redick got his job because of a podcast. JJ Redick, a lot of these coaches are getting jobs off of podcasts and off of commentary.
My favorite podcast was Mind the Game with LeBron and JJ Redick. Like them actually.
It was great.
I loved it so much. And I'm surprised. I'm not surprised JJ took that job because it is such a coveted position, but he was in a very cushy spot and an elite podcaster.
Steve Nash is doing it with them now, right?
Yeah, and he talks the whole damn time.
Talks too much. Yep.
It's 75% Steve's setting up LeBron's answer.
Yeah, JJ was really good.
They are pretty comfortable. Actually, got a third pair.
Fun drinking game. If you listen to the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash and LeBron, every time LeBron says things of that nature, you take a shot, you'll be drunk in 20 minutes. Things of that nature. Like,
so LeBron's that guy. He's things that nature.
You know what? I miss the shop. Like when LeBron was on it, that was amazing to me.
And unlike anything else out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Ron, you know you don't need no haircut. You have to get yours in private so they can do that special stuff to it. I know what you're going through. Just let it go, man.
So, okay, here's the thing about like the athletes getting into the podcast world, right? Because obviously, again, we talk about big TV deals are no longer a thing. It used to be not every athlete gets a TV deal. Now every athlete can, convert to a camera. One of I don't know if you ever watched Shady McCoy and Deshaun Jackson's podcast, that the short-lived one. It's just chemistry has. I don't care how good of boys you are. If your chemistry is not there and your analytics is it just didn't work. And I'm glad D-Jack's got a coaching job, so we don't have to see that podcast anymore.
Maybe look at Mason Cam.
Well, that's what makes Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson so great, because Matt Barnes can drive.
Yep.
And Steven Jackson only needs to react. So you still have to have the broadcast dynamic. You have to have a driver and a reactor.
Yes.
At least. And if you don't have, it doesn't matter how much chemistry you have, if you don't have that dynamic. I mean, Shannon has grown as a driver. That's the only reason why he and Chad work. It's not only the fact they can cut up together, but somebody can lead the conversation and ask the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to his case? It's been really quiet lately.
That's a good call. I don't know.
Nothing as of late. They haven't brought up anything. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with ESPN in the fall, because they'll want him on for football.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever this case is going to be, whether it's going to be settled out of court or whether it's going to continue to go on, there hasn't been any word about it. Like,
you know what happened to his case? Eddie Child, Fat Joe, Tyler Perry, all those other cases that dropped in front of him. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind right now. It's a new case.
That's true.
Oh, and to while we're watching, bring up a quick real estate thing.
Yes.
So Dave, remember I was telling you about the assumable mortgage earlier today?
Yeah.
And the person would never give me the information, so I got it myself, and I changed the listing today. Just got a text message asking about the listing.
Wow.
So in 9 minutes and 55 basketball seconds.
Make that money.
Mm-hmm.
We got a 16-point lead for OKC now.
James,
see if Indiana has any chance of getting back in it.
Nah, they're
by the way, really quick, I know it's not necessarily sponsored at this particular point, but you mentioned take a shot, Dave. Take a shot on your beautiful shot glass that you can get from D Cup Customs.
That's beautiful. What is that, velvet?
I heard that's Ferrari paint.
That is Ferrari paint. That is so expensive. You can also hopefully soon get some golf apparel.
Nice.
And I'm going to get some of these shirts made from Mexico. So if y'all want one, let me know.
Nice.
Absolutely. I'm
going to have Doreen put rhinestones on where the earrings are here, because she has like the glue and stuff, so it doesn't come off in the washer.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Matt Barnes always has a good story to share. It's I'm good. I'm glad that, like you mentioned, Dave, you're right. They do need, when you have that kind of chemistry, you need to have a driver, somebody to react, and then be able to react back to it. So everybody can't do that, though.
And Matt Barnes has grown so much, because there was a time when he was starting early off, and everybody grows, but every question was, what was that like? Like, you won a championship with the Bulls. What was that like? Every single question. What was that like? Which is fine, but it's cool to see how he's grown in his question asking.
What do you guys think about because I know Ryan Clark does this a lot. He's like, talk about blah, 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 whatever. So is that a correct way to ask a question, or?
It can be, as long as it's not every question. It depends on how you set it up. Like if you lay out something factual ahead of time, and maybe it's a situation where the facts are there, but you want that person's opinion about the facts. Okay. So that is, it's not a bad way to do that. if you set it up nicely, if you give some background to it.
The goal is
like
that
your son.
context on a fact. You know, tell us the thought process, tell us the emotions. Like it's good, but yeah, you're right. You can't lean on that as your only thing.
And so, like, your son has been known for shooting up the league. T, talk about how that made you feel when
talk about that a little bit
when he got suspended for 50 games and messing up the generational wealth. And James from Pedro, she has not made me a Rhinestone Cowboys cup yet. I would not have her do that. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm also a Cowboys realist. Every year we say we're going to win, and that's been 30 years. Actually, when I went to my niece's wedding, we went to, it was a draft party, and Doreen and I actually got interviewed on CBS News and talking about how disappointing it was for me to be a Cowboys fan.
Did it make air? Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I have it somewhere.
Oh wow.
Y'all know I'm from Texas.
So yeah, it's I'll try to find it for the show on Tuesday.
You ever watched the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast, Carmelo Anthony's?
Yeah. I thought Merrill got fired for a little while because he was just missing for a few weeks, but then they started rotating him. You look like you don't like it. Kaleo.
No, I like it. I love
okay.
Carmelo. Melo has good stories.
Yeah.
And then, I like what he's doing post basketball.
Yeah.
I want to see more old heads get on podcasts. Like, I want to see Bernard King stories. I want to see, you know what I mean? Like
that Vernon Maxwell.
That was the best.
Is incredible.
That he is a storyteller.
Amazing.
Man, I tried to guard that mother. I look at the bottom of his feet.
I'm talking about Utah and Michael Jordan and oh my God, he is, yeah.
He's like, man, fuck you too, Dream. Man, what I say that for? He took that big ass hand, man, he slapped shit out of me.
I mean, he will get canceled for saying some slick shit like on the wrong podcast, but for right now, it's amazing.
Yeah.
A podcast that it's a non-athlete podcast, but it's an athletic podcast. If you haven't watched Pablo Torre Finds Out, it is so good. I love Pablo Torre. He's a sports journalist. He used to be with ESPN. Now he's on the Dan Le Batard network.
What's going on, Lewis?
They did he does like 3 or 4 of them a week, but they had a deep dive into how Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman, how the NBA finals with them and the Bulls and the Jazz affected WCW when Malone and Rodman wrestled that one time.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty, the breakdown of everything that happened in the finals was pretty amazing. And the theory was that they could have affected the legacy of the Bulls by these two agreeing to wrestle at an event like a week after the NBA finals. Pretty intriguing. And there's a lot of good ones. That's one, they did that like 3 weeks ago, but he's got a lot of good ones.
I think my first peep into those type of stories and really being interested in it was when it was during COVID, when they released The Last Dance early and seeing how, I mean, I never thought that they would let a player just leave and go to Vegas and then the player not come back. I
get him.
To me, that's, yeah. Then Carmen Electra hiding behind the couch with Michael Jordan knocking on the door. I mean, this is some crazy Beehive type stuff.
Crazy. Real crazy. Man, OKC up 21 now. 7:50 to go. So now at this point, you just don't mess up. And for me, stop shooting threes.
Yep.
If I'm OKC, stop shooting threes.
As soccer, we would call it park the bus.
Yeah.
Park the bus. I would have I'd keep Chet in. I'd bring Hartenstein in. You guys just go to the basket. Just go. Just do something.
I'm running isolation with Shea for 22 seconds. Get free throw line and take that fadeaway. Put your elbow in his chest like you do when they never call.
Yeah.
and get ready to put on your t-shirt and your hat in 7 minutes.
I think that's another lost art, Dave, is working the clock.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that it's recognized that you're in a timed game. You're the fewer seconds the other team has, the better off you are. So don't shoot with 8 seconds, shoot with 4.
No.
Take some extra time off the clock. But who am I? I just watched the game.
You are the Godfather, Kendall B.
I need to get a Godfather button to go with stick my dick in it. Put my dick in it.
Oh gosh. Park the bus and cover the bucket, basically.
Yeah.
It would take a monumental comeback here. I mean, 20 points is seemingly insurmountable, but 7 minutes not in this league. It can't happen. You do some stupid things like right here, there's a turnover and a foul. So you stop the clock and you give Indiana possession. You just never know.
It's crazy. I bought all this junk food and I've eaten 2 Mike and Tyrone's and that's it.
It'll last.
Indy is now in a similar predicament as Boston if indeed Halliburton blew out his Achilles. This could be an entire season gone for Halliburton if that's the case. They're talking Tatum may not come back next season. Might be the same for Halliburton if he blew an Achilles.
So always these light-skinned dudes too.
That's become the injury as of late. I mean, the ACL injuries are up.
Mm-hmm.
Achilles injuries are up because Dame tore his Achilles too, right?
I think I think he did. Right.
You're right.
All playoffs. So you had Dame, you had Halliburton, and you had Boston.
All part of Kaleo's crusade to get the high top back in the rotation.
Bring him back.
Like Kaleo out here looking like Floyd Mayweather.
Why is Lewis starting stuff in the chat? What's he doing?
Got Reggie Miller and the KKK rolling over in their graves.
See? The second smartest black kid from Texarkana. He knew the reference. Lewis, before you came on, I said, we have a match tonight from the people from the birthplace of the KKK and the people from the site of the Black Wall Street Massacre. And it looks like the Black Wall Street Massacre people are going to pull it off.
This whole idea that the NBA is rigged, I just look back to the idea of Toronto got a championship, Milwaukee got a championship, Denver got a championship, and now OKC is going to have a championship. If it's rigged, they're doing it the wrong way.
They're doing it wrong.
These smaller markets. It's keeping you engaged.
We'll do it live.
What's funny about that, though, it's very right. I mean, Oklahoma City. I mean, that's it. Other than college sports, that's what they have. That's it.
Yeah.
And not saying that the fan base would be happy with just anything, because that's not true. But if you give Oklahoma City, if the writers, if the NBA is rigged, if the writers give Oklahoma City a good run every couple of years, keep the fan base happy. And the same could be said to a degree for Indiana, but Indiana does have other, they have the Colts, and at least the Colts have gotten a championship. They got pedigree, and Indiana has an ABA title. Mm-hmm. But OKC, they don't have anything else. And if they're, you can make them happy every couple of years, then that's cool. Maybe this is the script writer saying, let's make them happy so that, we don't hear anything else, so we can, and then we can bring Seattle back in the league, and everybody will be happy.
If Hurricane Katrina doesn't happen, there's no Oklahoma City Thunder.
There's no Oklahoma City Thunder. You're exactly right. It's sad to say that, but it's true.
The queen of the YNs just came in, y'all.
Hey, Ubi.
Ubi said on her story on IG that she's never seen Poetic Justice. Not that that's surprising, because Ubi, but
about to say, are you surprised?
No, I'm not. But
that's shocking to me because you're black.
Lewis, they got
the Sooners.
Yeah,
or in Oklahoma, is Oklahoma State closer to
Stillwater?
Oh yeah, I think Oklahoma State might be closer to. Maybe they're closer to Tulsa. But that's what I'm saying. They've got 2 college programs. I mean, they have more than that. They have a couple other ones, but those are the main 2 college programs.
And
But as far as
rodeos.
professional athletics, they have minor league baseball, and then that's it. So
Gentry's like, stop talking bad about Oklahoma because they have rodeos, and I like rodeos. You know why?
Y'all know I'm from Texas.
of course,
We've got our first pair of New Balance basketball shoes on.
who's got on the New Balance there, Kaleo?
Who's 23?
Is that Nesmith?
Yeah, Nesmith.
Yeah.
He was jumping around like Draymond Green a few minutes ago. When I was like, "What's wrong with you, man?" Well, I guess y'all losing, but still,
Chance to cut it to 15 here.
This is what I'm saying. Very interesting that Indiana has mucked it up a little bit, and they're cutting into the lead 15 in 6 minutes, 15 points. It ain't bad. It's not great, but it ain't bad. This is what I'm saying about OKC. Get your 2 points and quit chucking up the threes.
Lewis
play
got
old school, put a big man on the block, and then just
it's coming from Lewis.
Here we go. Just take it in. And almost got an and one.
Oh.
Ubi says, I love the rodeo.
That's shocking to me because you're black.
I knew you were going to play that. You son of You know, he set me up too because he put that in the chat on my show and I read it like Ron Burgundy. I didn't say that organically. He fed that to me.
Well, we can make a deal. I'll get rid of this one if you get rid of the one that when I wasn't in my total right mind and I sent it to you and Kaleo.
I'm saying I'm high as a kite.
That one.
You know what, y'all? Station head is messing up. So fuck this show. Y'all have a good night.
I didn't even play that one. Where did you get that one from?
What? I didn't.
You didn't play that?
No, I was looking at my phone with this new client.
I didn't even hit that button. That's
wait. The Kaleo, did you play that?
I hit this one.
I'm saying I'm high as a kite.
Kaleo has it.
Wow.
Kaleo's out here messing around. Kaleo got that too.
Well, that's okay. I have one.
I'm sure he's got a couple buttons.
No. Dave said something today. I just have to go back and get it. Watch him delete the show now.
I won't delete it. The night that Dmitri said that, Kaleo and I were in the room.
Yep.
And we immediately took clips from that very awesome short show. So I'm not surprised Kaleo has that.
Yeah. That's the show that you were talking to Dave. That's the show that kicked off everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This past
it ain't been right since.
On Friday night, Ark did a show, all of like 34 minutes and 16 seconds. And we stayed in the chat for about an hour. So the last show he did was a year ago. Right. So he won't see this till 2026, but we just had a nice, good conversation.
Yeah, when I woke up, I saw y'all that tagged me and Gentry called me. The person who can never sleep, y'all want to wake me up to come into a chat
with no music. It was just a chat.
Art does shows like the Harvest Moon,
and he was on a smoke break from his kids.
That's
like,
funny.
I'm on the balcony just trying to get a few minutes. But he cracked the mic.
Yep.
All right, we got a 16-point lead here and a hard foul. Ouch.
So in this shot, we got some Devin Bookers, some KDs, some Kobe's.
And Benedict Mathurin on the ground.
Hardens.
What are those Kobe's called?
Good.
Kaleo.
Those are the
ones that were gold.
The Protros.
Okay.
Wow.
Kaleo with shoes is like when you pull up to the mechanic.
That ain't nothing but a 96.
So yeah, that's some Adidas, Nikes. It's a good product placement in these shots.
Like, boy, that ain't even real right there. Look, you got the wrong thing on the back.
That ain't nothing but phone posit.
Why you jump man backwards?
Was that Mikey or Nike? That Mikey and Nike.
That ain't Michael Jordan. That's Jackie Jackson.
Kaleo, I have to ask, are you being in the DMV? Are you a dyed in the wool, Washington basketball fan, Bullets or whatever? I call it, the mama calling the Bullets. I'm still calling the Bullets. Or do you have another team?
So growing up was the Bulls. Obviously, that was just the easy. Then after the Jordan era, I loved Chris Webber. So Sacramento was kind of the team for all. Then once my boy got in the league, I kind of followed him around to support it, his squads. Then as of late, LeBron.
Okay.
DC doesn't have they don't know how to, they had 1 or 2 good seasons, that Paul Pierce era here in DC, where they, with John Wall, when they attempted to make the playoffs, they never bounced back.
John Wall threw up so many gang signs.
Kaleo goes around the DMV telling everybody his uncle is Wes Unseld.
Man, it was such. Was I in DC when they changed the name? Because people started saying, the Wizards, you naming them after the KKK. Why you taking away the Bullets? It was just, I love the Bullets. I mean, the name, not the team, but why would you take that away? That's not going to change Mary Farms.
That last run of Bullet Squad had Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Robert Pack, Rod Strickland, Tom Gugliotta, who was a high draft pick at that point.
Nice pull. I can't believe Robert Pack was on that team.
Robert Pack, they had a nice squad.
Robert Pack was my dude.
Then Webber got in that, Rebel and Juwan Howard got in that alleged trouble, and they traded Webber away from Mitch Richmond. Gave him away. Mitch Richmond.
Oh, we will
He's
take
supposed to be the next Jordan before Kobe.
Love
and Lewis said British Knights. So when we were growing up, I remember there was this rumor, like if you burn the soul off of British Knights, it said KKK under it because the KKK made British Knights. Man, there were so many kids coming to school with church shoes on the next day. They had burned the souls off of, like, Jesus Christ. Now you have on penny loafers and you're in PE. I used to love British Knights though. I got to find them. Talk amongst yourselves.
I had the quilted British Knights and I loved them. And I've never been a big person. It's like, okay, I've got to have these shoes, those shoes. That's just never been my thing. But I remember going to the shoe store, might have been, I guess it was Foot Locker. And my mom said, get what you want. And I saw these quilted British Knights and like, I loved them. I needed to have them. And like, I wore those things. And those are the shoes. Those are my going out shoes because I went to private school. So we had to wear a certain shoe at school. We couldn't wear just regular, any kind of sneakers. So those are the shoes I wore on the weekend.
Who was Hammer with? LA Gear or British Knights? Because it was
Wasn't he with both?
I don't know. And Michael Jackson had, were those British Knights? Were those LA Gear? Those are British Knights.
Hammer was with British Knights. According to Google.
I think MJ was with British Knights too.
1990 British Knights, yeah.
Because I just remember the commercial.
Wait a minute. No, they weren't British Knights. They were troops that I had. Because I wore them with a troop suit.
I remember those too.
Yeah, Lewis. Mitch Richmond is my low-key all-time favorite player.
Troop shoes, my goodness.
I had some that would have got me killed in LA. I'm trying to find them now. Since the game
which color, which street would you have been on?
Well, if I would have been with Mac Bro, I would have been okay since she's the president of the Bloods.
So MJ was with LA Gear. Michael Jackson had a pair of LA Gears. Y'all remember those shoes with the buckles?
Yep.
Ones?
Derek Coleman. Wow.
DC, that's my peeps.
Traveling ass. It took a journey.
Oh, I had the Troop Cobras too. I'm not even watching the game now.
Travel?
They called it Oklahoma City challenged it. So we'll see whether we get either a foul or a travel.
Lewis Dmitri was an elementary crack dealer.
Hashtag true.
You were my best customer.
This ain't my real job.
I sell drugs with my cousin.
We got a 14-point game. We got 4 minutes to go.
And since we have 4 NBA minutes, we should ask Lewis why he never shows up to your show in the mornings.
On the spot.
Is he a busy? Are you a busy man? Let me look right in the camera. Are you a busy man, Lewis?
We're all busy.
Yes. But is he at a point where, because some people that don't come in, they either can't come in because they can't turn it on at work or whatever the reason. I would love for him to come in.
You know what Lewis's response is gonna be?
This goddamn bitch set me up like this. Set me up, ain't that a bitch?
Now we got to go through this stuff. Why are we like this to each other? We should be attacking other people, not each other.
He says because he's at work, which I understand. If you're at work, because some places won't let you turn that on, or it's a situation where your work is of a different level that you just can't focus when you're trying to listen to shenanigans.
I'm at work every day when you're doing your show. That's no excuse.
I've got people at my job listening to Kendall now. It makes me nervous.
I'm a management consultant by day and an OnlyFans foot model.
Nice.
So there you go. Management consultant, can't listen. All right.
Man of many talents.
Yeah. Those DJ Ted 2 days were atrocious. When we were on AMP,
yeah,
my supervisor was looking to do shows.
Mm.
And he would call meetings and ask me questions about doing shows.
Hey, buddy. DJ Ted 2.
Yeah.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's cool. Now that he's not my supervisor anymore. He's a lot better of a person than me.
Okay.
Easier to deal with.
Easier to deal with. That's the thing. He's on the clock. He's just one of those coworkers you just want to take 500 yards away from the job and tune him up. Mm-hmm. But off the clock, like he's a good person. Like he's cool. I can hang out with him. I can drink with him.
They just had a shot, I believe, of that. I believe that was Reggie Miller's son. God, he looks just like him.
Hello, it's me, Miles.
Oh, hi, Miles.
Hi, my name is Angie Panty 33, and Kaleo has lied to me before.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and Kaleo has lied to me before.
Fuck around with me. It's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Look, the funeral was the next day.
Oh my gosh.
The funeral was the next day. I
don't know any of these people. Look at them lying
My
again.
name is Your Name Here. And Kaleo has lied to me before. Hi, my name is Tusa, and Kaleo has lied to me before.
Got him. We fucking got him.
I'll stop.
Hello, my name is Jen B.
Oh, when was that? What was the actual date of that whole thing? We have to revisit that on an anniversary or something.
It was Halloween.
Yeah.
Was it Halloween?
Yeah. I was taking my kids trick-or-treating, and
that's right.
it fucked their night all up because I was like, what? I'm like, oh no, we're done. Get in the car. We're done trick-or-treating.
But daddy.
Wow.
I got some writing to do.
He was like, how do you do those voices?
As soon as I played that, I started writing too because I was like, I gotta be ready because he's gonna. I was trying to be like Kendrick, so as soon as you did something, I was gonna release that my Lion Hawaiian story. But it'll never see the light of day now.
Chance to cut it to 10 here.
So
Or
here's
turn the ball over.
Here's the problem again. Shea with a step back three that didn't go in. It would have been a hero ball. It would have been probably done, but they missed, and now Indiana has the ball other end. Looks like jump ball action. They still have time.
Siakam hurt.
Time.
So that's the inexperience of a young team, because Shea, as probably the star on the floor now, you should be closing out this game.
Yes. Yes.
And you're standing at the top, holding it like this until somebody comes up on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking time off the clock, yes, but instead of just taking a step back three, do something else with it. Lewis, my show is on at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific in the morning on Station Head and on Blast and on Twitch. So you got multiple times, multiple places to tune in. It'd be nice if you
start showing up. I'm like, oh, I thought you couldn't show up. I thought Master was beating you, and now you here.
Okay, here's Shea with the ball, 6-5, better shot, still missed. Okay, still 12-point game, and now Indiana turns it over, and then that's on them. That's a problem.
I'm like, hey, Lewis, why don't you listen to Kendall?
Day is never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
3.
Another 3, but a rebound and a foul. Every weekday, Lewis, Monday through Friday. Every weekday. I'm a consistent glutton for punishment.
He babysits 30 to 40 grown ass adults who can go off the rails. Wait, what was that one?
Off the rails.
Somebody hit a button.
Chet cannot hit a free throw to save his life. He's
Ichabod Crane looking motherfucker.
Ichabod. All it is the hat. That's all he needs. The hat and the overalls. How did they get him to look so rhythmic in that AT&T commercial? That's my question. Because I didn't know that was him at first. I'm like, who's the light skinned cat? Oh, that's Chet.
Chet.
Had to look like 3 or 4 times. But now they're back up 13, Oklahoma City. And they got to score practically every time.
On Rumspringer.
I'd be in there like Roger Staubach. I'll take a knee.
Oh, big 3.
Ooh.
Cut it to 10. And there's Chet. Back up to 12.
How many steps did he?
Use the height. Yeah, he took about 5 steps. Yeah, he did.
I mean,
no, that was a Euro step.
Back down to 10. Time's getting short.
Yeah, you can't exchange baskets at this point.
Yeah, time's getting short.
Nice slow up.
Now you run the clock. You run the clock and don't shoot this thing to under 5 seconds.
Bad foul.
That's a foul. That's a bad foul.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bad foul. Yep.
Yep. So they never let the ink dry on the first one, but OKC is built for multiple.
Yeah.
They can stay healthy and they can keep people paid, but I think they got one more year with this current lineup on.
Are you gonna kick the chair, man?
They still have don't they still have draft capital too? Like they had an amazing run of picks.
Well, they set the standard on how to rebuild, and a lot of teams are trying to do that now by just being awful for 4 or 5 years and stockpiling as many picks as possible. But you still got to make good choices because Philly tried that same thing and it didn't quite work out for Philly.
The process didn't work.
Nope.
Well, they were built for multiple when they had KD and Russ and Harden too.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Golden State stopped that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Should have stayed in Seattle.
Well, they got the one, lost to Miami.
Yeah.
It's still wild they had those 3.
They should have had. Was that Golden State's second title or their first when OKC basically had them?
First.
And was it the first?
Yeah. I was like
Yeah,
15.
they had them.
15 or 16.
They had them, and Golden State came back and just snatched it away. And you can't miss free throws at this point either.
Nope.
So I guess who's coming in tomorrow lighting a cigar and talking all kinds of trash tomorrow morning?
Oh no, I heard he's got asthma, so he might not be lighting a cigar.
Ark is going to be just losing his entire crap in the morning. You know he is on the show.
Cigar, then an inhaler. I'm double fisting.
Hey, to the victors go the bragging rights. So
you got to. Hey, when you get a victory like this, you got to party. When it's your team, and you get it, definitely you got to show out.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall, you've seen 17 in your lifetime.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Sorry, Dmitri, I cut you off. My bad.
That's okay.
What'd you say?
Oh, to the victors goes the antihistamine.
Yeah, championships are fun. They used to be a lot more fun for me, but now if you do it, it's great. It's good for a little while, but otherwise it's like, okay, what's next?
Fat Tony just pulling out stuff. You have a concussion?
Fat Tony might be like 20 minutes behind on us.
That was like first quarter.
Dang, rabbits.
I don't think OJ did it.
Looking good. 13-point lead now. Minute and a half to go.
Yep.
The guys that showed up needed to show up. They finally showed up. Jalen Williams showed up. Chet showed up. That's who they needed to show up.
And all those Indiana championship t-shirts going to the Congo.
Man.
I know some people over there now. I may y'all want some? I don't think they take them to the cities though. They go to the villages.
Maybe it's different now. Maybe it's not as since we talked about fanatics earlier.
Right.
Maybe it's not that many. Maybe they have it tempered down a little bit. A few local printers and then not a whole bunch after that. Oklahoma City's color scheme always, it didn't bother me, but it seems like you don't see that combination seeming, even though it's a blue and an orange, but you got a yellow and you got a black, and it seems like it's all over the place.
I like that alternate OKC logo that they sometimes use on a jersey. I wish they would use that more often.
The one that's on the floor, or
they have a jersey version of that looks pretty slick.
It is kind of cool. There's Lewis. So the victors go the venereal disease. Thanks.
That's right.
Thanks,
Habitual line stepper.
Shoot some craziness. All right.
Only thing you can do at this point. Only thing you can do. Well, I hope out of everything else, I really do hope that Halliburton's injury is not something that'll take him out for a year or so.
Yeah.
That's tragic. It really is.
Go to Aaron Rodgers' doctor.
Obi Toppin, no points.
What is up with that, Obi Toppin?
I mean, I know he's not the guy, but
because Obi sounds like Ubi.
Score a little something when you can. Obi Toppin. Alex Caruso.
Was he on that Lakers squad?
Yeah, he was on the bubble team, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got him a chip early on. That's why I was so mad when they let him go. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So he's white Kobe, and then Brian Scalabrine was white LeBron, right? Because he did that SI cover. I'm coming home. When he went back to Boston.
They're clearing the bench.
Uh-oh.
It is over. It's officially done.
And now checking in for the Thunder, Earl Boykins.
Put some
All
respect
5
on Earl
foot five.
Borkin's name.
That's right. He was a bad man.
I love
Some
Earl.
respect on his name.
All-time favorite Nugget. One of them.
So fellas, 6 weeks. 6 weeks in a sports-like wasteland. What do you do? Because
wait for the Ocho.
there is soccer, but everybody doesn't like soccer. And even with that, it's international play, and then MLS. And you got baseball, and you got give the WNBA props because they do have some solid games right now, but still it's kind of a sports wasteland until we get to college and football again.
I say we see what the Ocho has to offer, and then we come back and maybe add a couple more squares up here.
All right. I think the Ocho is sometime in July, so we have to keep an eye out. Ubi, Oklahoma City is winning. They're about to win their first NBA championship. That's who's winning. So.
Yeah,
Ubi can't even read. There's gonna be somebody driving around in a Malibu that was made while Ubi was at work. Just gonna blow up.
Oh man. Well, when this is over, then I have to actually do some more work. I have to write the story about the game, and then get my music together for the morning. So fun time.
You can just use the transcript from this show and just post it and be like, okay, that's that. Black Kendall out.
Possible. OKC, your NBA champions 2025, as many thought they would, but extended to a 7th game.
Wow.
Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Indiana for not only the run, because their run to the finals was epic, but also keeping this game close even after Halliburton went out. That's they are to be admired for their run. So good for them.
Wow. Only thing interesting about this series is that it won 7 games.
Yeah.
A lot of people know who the MVP is going to be.
You got to give it to Shea, right?
It's got to be Shea, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. Yeah.
You just feel like an MVP
You're not giving
performance.
it to Chet for your first one. I mean, it's got to be Shea.
Yeah, it has to be.
There's his gold shoes. Yeah, kind of stamp them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was he changing shoes for the post game?
Probably. You know, every time you get a chance to market,
Yeah.
do it.
Cleo's going to get him like new shoes, new shoes. That's what they need to bring back the Boondocks.
I thought they were. I thought I saw that was supposed to be happening. I thought.
Oh, I did not
I saw
know.
something that was going to happen. So let's see. We've got show in the morning. 3 the Hard Way. What on Tuesday night?
Tuesday.
Right.
I would give y'all a sneak peek or something, but I'm not going to. It's too good.
No, it's save it. Nice tease. Stop teasing. Nice tease.
He was teasing me. Stop teasing.
Dave, are you going to be back on Wednesday? Do you know, or
Possibly.
Possibly on Wednesday?
Possibly. It kind of depends on how work shakes out. If things are a little tumultuous at the moment.
Okay.
And whatever he does.
Yeah. Whatever it is that Dave does.
You ain't got no job. Kaleo Soul Tales this week?
Soul Tales this week. And Abstract on Friday.
Okay.
Yep.
Still trying to build up to do our first episode of Poppy Doe. Because it's going to be an actual podcast, not a live stream. So I want to get a bunch of them in the clip so we're not rushing every week trying to get one done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we get to 8, then we'll start releasing them. Uh-oh. She's like, get out of here. Like, ma'am, we are contractually obligated to. This is not, what's that show? Maury Povich.
Right. Reggie giving them some love. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
No.
I wish I had a sad button.
Would Tyrese, had he played and had they won, would Tyrese Halliburton immediately have become the greatest pacer ever because he led them to the championship? Or is that still Reggie Miller?
It's still Reggie.
I think he's still Reggie.
Okay.
But you start putting him in the conversation for delivering something to the city that no one could.
Yeah. Best and favorite are two different things.
That's true. That's two different things. Yes.
But
And
again, he didn't have to go against Jordan.
Those shoes are trash.
Kaleo. Oh, and those shoes. That hat is nasty too. I don't like that hat.
See, Fanatics ruins everything.
I don't like that hat.
Is that a pog in the middle? What?
I don't know what is. Yeah, the
rope, the fisherman. What is that?
The rope,
the sailor rope.
I don't like the rope. The rope is no good.
Doing?
And the logo in the middle looks like they could just rip that off and put it on for anybody.
That's exactly what this Velcroed on.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Like that.
So they were gonna. They had a whole bunch of pacer ones too. They were like, "Oh, let's put this."
There's somebody in the back just sticking them on rope. Hurry up! Hurry up!
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what it is.
Good Lord.
Save money.
Fanatics is the worst thing that ever happened to apparel.
You just see little kids in the Congo with the Pacers little circle.
Right. They just get the circle now, though. They don't even get the hat.
I do not believe they are not sending us the full thing. What are we going to do with the circle?
I didn't see the t-shirt. The t-shirt might be better, but I didn't see it. Is that his girl?
I hope so.
We hope so. A friend.
Oh, it does say Thunder. I was like, is that a generic shirt? But it does say Thunder at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, the shirt's not bad.
No,
I'm okay with the shirt.
Better than the last couple of years for sure.
But that looked like a Nike shirt though.
Yeah,
a Nike branded shirt. I like that they have at least a couple of different shirts now because like the Dodgers did a couple of different shirts and a couple of different hats. Like the field hat that the Dodgers had, I hated. But then they had another hat that I bought, which was very nice when they won. So at least give me choice. But these hats stink. The on-court hats are awful. Yeah.
I bet it is a little Velcro thing.
Just rip it off. That might be it.
Yeah.
And we better not see an upside down one so they know what we're doing.
And you notice the little rope has a little yellow in it, so it'll work for either team.
Ooh, right. Exactly.
Premeditated.
Or is that supposed to be gold for the trophy? That could be it too.
Yeah, you're true.
That's smart. You save less making a bunch of different patches than you do a bunch of hats and shirts that you got to toss away. Just make patches.
Mm-hmm.
And have a squad in the back ready just to attach.
And here comes the Shea
commercials.
The Shea commercials right afterwards.
Shoes are garbage.
That's what they have him carrying in the highlight. Literally a violation in the highlight.
Ah, dang it. Oh, congratulations. OKC.
Yes.
James says, close the doors.
I'm not even looking at the chat. Let me see.
Yeah. Rep went into night mode over there. They got the sexy lighting in the studio.
Yeah, I have another show after this. Y'all aren't invited to.
We're not invited to.
I have an OnlyFans account.
One.
You gonna show the feet off tonight?
Amongst other things.
Premium.
Well,
I should get a clapper.
Look, don't let us stop you from making that money. Here you go, Dave. Here's your Fanatic shirts. They're showing them now.
That's what they screen printed at the mall.
Yes, even the commercial, it looks screen printed. That is.
See, Fanatics is just awful. Flea market ass company.
NBA
My wife works at
store.com.
a flea market.
a Fanatics experience.
No besmirching Doreen, but
Everybody's so creative.
Oh man.
Yeah. How long does Fanatics have the contract? Do you know?
Probably for a long time. Because I mean, there's nobody else really, unless Nike and or Adidas or whoever steps up and takes it. But I think they've carved out quite the thing, just like Starter did, I guess. For a while.
So do y'all get this reference?
No, what is that?
It's when Lamont brought those caskets on Sanford and Son, and Melvin came in. Like, hello, Fred. Goodbye, Fred.
Goodbye, Fred. Oh,
First grade.
All right, y'all.
Maybe you shouldn't come to the show because we'll feed off each other, and I already don't get work done.
I think I got it.
Glad to see Lisa Salters back. I think she there was some stuff going on with her family or something. I'm glad that she's back, at least for this, because she was away for a couple times. So good to see Lisa. I did not know that Lisa Salters was with the coach of the of Indiana. And like, okay, Lisa, I see you working. I did not know that that she was in a relationship with her.
Sherman gonna have relations. Sherman gonna have relations.
Stop it.
Yeah. What time is it? Here. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. I got 2 hours worth of work I can put in, and then
Game time.
Hold on. I'm about to do what Real Estate Poppy put in the chat today. So what y'all doing?
So what y'all about to do?
What y'all about to do?
Yep.
Well, that's it. We saw them get the trophy. I think we can do the benediction.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing us together, sir. This was always fun.
Always fun.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hopefully we can find another sport that we can talk about. And even if people don't want to watch us talk about it, this is just fun in general. So thank all of you who came to hang out with us. We had a really good time. We appreciate you. We'll see you in the morning in Kendall's chat and throughout the week.
Yep.
See y'all soon.